ignorance that they've all been laboring under for such a long time.
Yes, because science definitely sells papers.
Well, I would assume so. It's certainly what I'm most interested in reading about.
I jot down some fake notes just to appear that I'm paying attention.
All right. So, having geared up and oh, sorry. Yes. So, having gathered up your equipment, you've got your carbide lanterns, you've got your pitons, you've got your rope. You head off to the entrance to the hall itself, and you see there this broken sort of capstone with the carvings on it, and where it had covered it, this small triangular entrance, not much bigger than a person, that leads down into the darkness below. And if you're standing around, Tom looks around and goes, right, how many of you have been caving before?
No, mainly theoretical rather than practical. But I'm
Right.
sure, Frankie, you'll help me out, would you?
Yeah, I'll help you out. I've done a little bit of exploring in my time.
Excellent. What about you, Chester? You've been an adventurous sort. Any caving before and potholing?
I adventure from the behind. The others do the potholing. This is my first adventure down.
Oh.
So.
Well, I'm sure it'll be thrilling.
Well, you said nothing's down here. I'm a bit worried now.
All right. Well, I'll go down first then, and then one of you lowers the bags down. You just follow after. Look, just go carefully. Don't rush, and it should be fine. If any of you get stuck or hurt, just give me a shout. Right. And he starts clambering down this hole in the ground. And a few minutes later, you hear him shout up to you, all right, send the bags down.
Yeah, I grab my bag and I attach it to the rope, but I also light one of the lanterns so we can at least make sure that it's not going to be, like, hitting against anything, and I just very lower it down. Yeah. Also, just to get an idea of how deep this is, so everybody kind of knows what we're dealing with.
So as the light dissipates, you see it's not like just a straight shaft. It sort of like kinks around a bit, disappearing off down, sort of quite a long way. So it descends down sort of at least 100 feet downwards into the dark, and a short distant time later, you hear a shout back. All right. Thank you. Next one. Head on down.
Walter would kind of suss his way to the front, kind of pat Frankie on the head, said, excuse me, sweetheart, and I'll start making my way down.
Okay.
Ooh.
So, as you start to make your way down, I'd like to make me a climb roll, please, here. So, Call of Cthulhu is a percentile-based system, so you're trying to roll under your skill here. So, Walter...
So, my climb, it looks like target is 30, or my climb, at least, so I need to roll below that, correct?
Yes, you need to roll below 30.
I rolled a 21.
All right, so you managed to successfully make your way down this bending shaft into the darkness below, and it goes colder as you just get down underground, and the walls are damp limestone, smoothed by running water, and as you reach the bottom, you see the light of Tom's carbide lantern lighting up this small area around him. The light sort of reaching only about 10 feet or so away from him, and you can see the dark passage descending further downwards, deep beneath the hill ahead of you. The floor is there's a stream of cold water running across it.
While I have Tom alone, I'd ask, so Tom, what do you think of all this? Any thoughts?
Look, I'm getting paid for this. Look, you should always be careful. Well, you know, you hear stories about things down in the mines and down underground. There's stuff out here in the world that we don't know about. There's more out there.
So you believe it could be something strange?
I believe that we should be careful. All right. Next.
Frankie is going to, after being slightly pushed aside by Walter, is going to go next. And Frankie, by the way, is wearing very like practical researcher's clothes, not like a dress or anything. This is very practical, clothing, and especially if she had known that she was going on a dig of some sort, she would have definitely dressed appropriately. She's gonna kind of tie up her hair, give a look to the two remaining guys who are standing there, and attempt to climb down. So a climb check for me as well.
Yes, please. Let's see if
I also have a 30% chance of doing this. So
Look, I didn't want to make things too easy for you.
fair enough, because I got a 46, so that's a no.
Okay,
Ooh,
so
recommend.
as you make your way down this this twisted shaft descending down into that, you feel yourself slipping, and you slide down a short distance of the shaft, like scrabbling at the walls. Manage to catch yourself breathing hard. That I'd like you to mark off 1 point of damage, like just battered and a bit bruised, but not seriously injured.
Awesome. I have done so.
Would we have seen that? Would Tom and I have seen her slip?
You see a few sort of stones falling, but it's not sort of a direct hole upwards, and your light only reaches currently about 10 feet away from you. Beyond
No
that,
one saw my shame.
it's utter darkness.
I get down, dust off my pants, and just kind of give them a look and go, that wasn't too hard, sweetie.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
All right. Next.
She had the right idea. Are we going to slide or climb? And I'll go to climb down.
Okay. So make me that climb roll, please.
I got a 33 and the climb's 55. So I pass.
Oh yeah, you have had some experience climbing in the past. You are able to easily clamber your way down to join the others at the bottom, leaving just Professor Montague standing looking at this hole in the ground.
He was still thinking of how to answer when Chester disappears down the hole. He goes, well, and kind of picks up his magnetotron carefully and then awkwardly gets in and tries to roll under 20.
Oh,
that's
no.
That's a 90.
90. Okay.
I don't know if it scales.
As you sort of make your way down, you get about halfway down, and then you realise that perhaps you've got yourself at the wrong angle. Perhaps it's the magnetotron, but you are stuck.
Wanky!
Stuck fast in this
Frankie,
narrow passageway.
I don't mean to alarm you any, but I seem not to be making any progress forwards or backwards currently. A little help?
Professor, yeah, oh boy.
Yell out.
Yeah.
You could only go one way.
Well, I mean, he could be stuck. He has all that equipment. We should have probably sent down the equipment beforehand. I wasn't entirely thinking of that. Although, to be entirely fair, he only lets anybody. He doesn't even let me touch that thing. So I don't think we could have convinced him to put it down the hole without him. Okay, fine. Is there any way we can climb back up to him?
You can try climb back up, yes, or Professor, you can try and like wriggle your way out.
Well, he's clutching onto the magnetotron, which is kind of wedged on a rock, I imagine. If he could somehow manage to free the magnetotron, I'll go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, make me a dex roll, please. So try and roll under your dexterity.
That's just as good. Right, I've got a 55.
Yeah, that's pretty good. 28.
Yeah, you managed to get it free, and
Suddenly start sliding.
there's a scattering of stones, and you hear the sounds of echoing around in the dark as
That's okay, I've sorted it.
splash.
I'm just there, just trying very hard not to laugh because this is severely amusing to me. Are you okay,
So you
Professor? And I kind
slide.
of go over to him and do the pseudo caring, where I'm like dusting him off. I'm making sure he's fine. There's no major cuts or bruises.
Fine, but the magnetotron, I can't just have to. He starts fiddling with
Oh,
retuning
geez,
it.
okay. And I go over to the others and I say, see, he doesn't let anybody touch that thing. It's like his baby.
Professor, I think I got a new headline. A historian hysterical when stuck in the cave.
No, that wouldn't work at all. It's not scientific. Now.
I'd buy it.
All right. So you're now all down at the base of this, and you can see this tunnel leading off, and it starts to like small branching tunnels. You have to hunch down. The water is cold around your feet. Apart from Tom, who else currently has their lanterns lit?
I lit one on the pack as it was going down, so I will take that. I will take the lit one off of it and sort of fold it aloft.
The professor
would
would just be
like
next to
mine.
Frankie.
All right, and Chester.
Yeah.
All right, so ahead of you, the dark tunnels stretch, and Tom sort of looks at the professor and goes, "Well, I don't know my way around here any better than you do."
Wait, you're telling us they gave us a miner that doesn't know their way to the artifact?
Oh, no one's been down here before.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind that. Okay.
Right.
I mean, I'm assuming there's some sort of artifact down here. I mean, otherwise,
The rumors say there's treasure hidden down here.
I see, I told you, Chester.
I'll believe it when I see it.
So,
Do I have any means of like making markings to kind of like guide our way back?
Oh, I actually have some chalk on me as I pull out the piece of chalk that I always keep on my person.
Might be a good idea to try and make some markings.
I'll do arrows as we go. How is that sound? Or
Sounds
would you like to do them, Walter, since it was your idea?
No, you seem very capable.
you've got chalk. You've also, should you not have the chalk, the carbide lanterns burn with sort of smoky, sooty flame. So that can always be used as a mark should you need something. Okay. So as you head off through the darkness, you've got three lanterns burning at the moment. And it's slow going down these passageways, sort of crouching down, squeezing through narrow sections, heading downwards at a sort of steady slope as this passageway winds. And it's beyond the glow of your lanterns, it's dark. You hear occasionally the drip of water. and the sounds of your boots sort of splashing and echoes off into the dark. And the first hour or so passes sort of without coming across anything of particular interest. There's a few spots where you have to sort of stop and sort of edge sideways, but there's a few points where you've got to make a decision between left and right and sort of figure out which way to go. But Frankie, you're marking the way with chalk, yes?
Yes, I'm doing little arrows pointing backwards towards the way we came. Like the arrow point is going back the way we came. I'm trying to be as thrifty as I can with the chalk because it just says I have a piece of chalk. So, well, it just says chalk. It doesn't have any number next to it. So I'm assuming I have one.
It's up to Frankie. Is Frankie the kind of person who would have a single piece of chalk or a box of chalk?
I feel like maybe not her personally would have a box, but I feel like this is almost like the professor's chalk because he is always losing it. So I've just sort of taken to keeping like a spare box on my person.
Okay,
you know,
so you've got 3 pieces of chalk.
Yes, cool, awesome. I will mark that.
And as the second hour comes to an end, this is long, slow going down here in the dark. It's almost hard to keep track of time. It just seems to be these endless corridors. You reach a part where the corridor narrows significantly. And you can see this is going to be a tight squeeze to get through.
Will the professor's magnetron machine be able to fit through this, or are we going to have to leave it?
It'll fit if you're careful and dexterous enough.
Oh boy.
It's about a foot cube. That's what I'm imagining anyway. So 12 inches each way. It's not too big.
Just about. Like, if you get it just right, you should just be able to get it through.
Pivoting.
Mm-hmm. But you're going. I think one of us should be on the other end to receive it, Professor.
Oh, I'll go. I can go ahead.
I really would rather try and maintain. I'm taking readings as I go. As you can see, the vibration just down this platinum wire here is really do need to keep an eye on that one. Maybe
Tom,
Frankie, if you headed through with me, could we somehow manage to negotiate a passage?
Sure. Let's go in the narrow hole at the same time with the cumbersome machine. I say this like slightly under my breath, like maybe enough that Walter and Chester can hear it, but hopefully not the professor. Like you made me do weird things before. Okay, we'll try with a smile on my face.
Okay. In which case, I'd like both Frankie and the professor to make me a dexterity roll, please.
I have a 60 in this, so hopefully it's going to go better than my climb. Yes, that's a 37.
I have a 55 and I got a 41.
So both of you managed to sort of maneuver this device through. It does take some time.
You see, Frankie,
I feel like I stopped him a couple of times and like, no, you're don't force it.
There's this real practical experience you can only get in the field. You're really developing very marvelously as an assistant.
Okay.
So with Frankie and the professor having squeezed your way through, that leaves Tom sort of edges his way through, beckons to Walter and Chester.
I'll go on ahead.
All
right, make me that dex, please, Walter.
Before I do, I kind of move close to Chester and I say, by the way, I know why you're here. And I start making my way through.
I'll let you go.
My dex is 60 and I rolled a 56.
Okay, you managed to get through, no particular problem. Chester.
I step to the side and check to see if my revolver's loaded, and then holster it and go through.
It is loaded.
93 is not under 60.
No, so you get halfway through and then you realize you are stuck.
Can I grab him and give him a big
Yeah.
yank? Like
Yes,
wedge my foot on the other side of this like opening, grab his hand and just pull.
You can try, yeah. Make me a strength. Roll me some strength here.
I surprisingly have a 50 in strength, so
I don't.
so that was a 6.
I think that is probably
I hope most of me comes with it.
That
Wow,
was a 6 out of 50. Yeah, so
yeah, that is an
Where did his
extreme
legs go?
success. So you just
I pop him like a cork.
yeah. No problem.
Exactly that.
I end up in the mud and just get up and brush myself off and check to see if the lantern's not broken and say thank you, Frankie.
It's okay. We've all been there.
You're real strong for a girl.
Yeah. You know, I've had to do a lot of random stuff. So for the professor, books are the amount of books he asks me to carry sometime are not light. I can tell you that. Heavy, thick tomes.
The passageway heads on further. Who's in the lead here and who's at the back, by the way?
Walter would do whatever he could to be close to the front, even if it's not right in the lead. He would be, if he is leading, he would. If not, he's going to be as close to the front as he can. He doesn't want to miss anything.
And the professor would be quite close to the front as well. He wants to get readings before anyone else messes them up, but would be staying in the light which Frank is carrying.
Mm-hmm. So it's probably me and the professor in front, then probably Walter behind, unless Chester wants to be in the front.
No, never, not once.
Okay. So yeah, so it's me, probably me slightly ahead of the professor, and then Walter, and then Chester.
As the passage leads on further, the water sort of around your feet is the stream. You're sort of following the path of down underneath the ground. Chester at the back, I'd just like you to roll me a listen check, please.
Oh shit. Listen is 20. I did not hear it. Or I got a 42, so I hear whatever you tell me I hear.
You hear the echoing of your feet, the splashing of water, and the clunk as the professor's foot strikes something in the water. And looking down, Professor, you can see in the light of Frankie's lantern, looks to be a very rusted-looking helmet lying in the water, in the stream of the water.
Old helmet or like a
Old, like a
okay.
full faceplate, sort of. Think sort of more of a sort of Saxon or Viking design here, like with,
Okay.
like.
Oh,
it'd be
that looked
instantly-
lovely on my mantle.
instantly fascinated. Extraordinary. And he's got his hands full already, obviously, so not quite sure what to do. I go, Frankie, would you mind? There's a quite extraordinary relic just down below in the water there, and kind of points it out. If you just raise it up to eye level, that would be. I need to take a reading from it.
I fish around in the water and I pull up the helmet.
As you lift out the helmet, there's a splash as out of the helmet there drops this fleshless skull that drops out with a sudden splash into the water. And as this happens, like everyone, just roll me a sanity check, please.
Oh,
Ooh,
good.
How do we do that?
So we have
you're
to
trying.
get below, correct?
Yeah, you're trying to get below your sanity.
Okay, that's great.
Just 41.
Got a 65.
Where's that locus? Located again? Oh, there.
Yeah, up towards the top of your sheet.
19.
Okay. Anyone who
Yeah, 65 out of 45.
So, Frankie, having lifted
got
this up,
65.
you find yourself like jumping back in surprise, and
Mhm.
Chester too, like let out an sort of controlled yelp of surprise as this skull
Yep.
drops out. Both of you
I
lose
feel
1
like
point
I feel
of
like I
sanity.
also. Oh, what?
Both of
I
you
lose
lose
point.
1 point of sanity, both Chester and Frankie.
I also feel like I drop the helmet in surprise, and then I just quickly pick it back up again.
Really, Frankie, you must master yourself more capably than that. So just hold it still for a moment and let me see.
Okay,
would-
here you go.
I would take the tip of one of my pencils and like put it in the eye socket of the skull and lift it up and examine it. Anything interesting about it?
You could make me a medicine, or if you've got any other sort of skill you think might be appropriate for examining a
Oh.
skull. So medicine, or perhaps even a hard first aid might get you something useful. Walter, as this is that, you can see the light of the lanterns, and the passage has widened out slightly here, and into a chamber. The stream sort of flowing across the center of the floor.
I'm gonna roll first aid. I'm significantly better in that.
I'm going to take a picture of all this while this is
You'd
happening.
think I was significantly
However I
better.
do
Roll
that.
79.
All right, make me a photography check to see if you, because it's quite dark down here, even with the carbide lanterns. So see if we're going to get any half decent pictures out of this.
Where would I find photography?
Under art and craft photography.
I got 51 out of 40 for art and craft. Yep, 51. That's a miss.
Yeah, so you actually like the
That's a
flat.
selfie.
It's possibly just going to not develop properly. It's taking photographs in a dark cave with 1920s technology is a little touch and go. What did you get, Walter?
Just happy I get to use
I
it.
rolled a 79. I didn't.
You can't really determine much about it other than it's very old looking. Like, this is not a recent skull. This is old and starting to crumble away a bit.
And can I make not only on the skull itself, but also on the actual helmet? Can I make some sort of like I have archaeology.
I'm gonna say history or archaeology. Yes.
I don't. Do I have? Yeah, archaeology is better. That is a 32.
32. Okay. So looking at the helmet, you'd say it looks to be sort of Viking design.
Mm-hmm.
Probably somewhere between the 9th and 11th century. But
Oh,
being more specific like that is hard without proper reference material. But
all right. And I'm gonna say, well, this is clearly. I mean, if you look at the markings here and there, it's clearly an old Viking helmet from the 9th or 10th century, roughly. About. I mean, I really can't tell much more about it until we get it up. But I can put it in the bag, Professor, if you want to examine it further when we get back to the library research facility.
Would the professor be able to get any more information out of it? Are there any runes or anything like that on it?
Looking at it, it's very rusted. Like, it has been lying in this water for a long while. He suspects that it needs sort of good light and some reference books to sort of examine various
Okay.
sort of related ones to get more
Don't
specific.
worry. We'll get it back, and we'll polish it up, and we'll get we'll do a good study on this. It's a very good find, as you have said, Professor.
Well, it's wonderful, marvelous, and you did very well to establish its age to such a close level. I'm curious whether we can find any more
I'm sure we can keep. I'm sure we can keep an eye out.
All right. So, as you whilst this is going on, and whilst we're kind of slight freezing, the carbide lantern, you can see a little bit further on along this corridor. You can see there appears to be more sort of rusted metal piled up against the wall. You can see sort of rusted halberds and swords leaning up, a few more sort of helmets. All of this is sort of this pile of very rusted looking metal piled up against the walls of the cave.
Just kind of lumps of metal or like scrap metal?
As in very rusted armor. You're looking at it by
Okay.
the looks of it, like rusted shields, swords, all of it very old and decayed.
And is it laid out in an organized fashion, or is it like it's all been...
It looks like it's all been sort of piled up.
Wow,
But
okay.
armor, there's no sign of any bones, as far as you can see.
If we could clean any of this up, this would look
Okay.
great.
Yeah, I will get out my notebook and take a quick couple of notes, trying to just jot down the location and like, oh, we were like 2 hours in when we found this, and it passed the crevice. As much information as I can to remember the location, because I'm sure the professor is going to want to come back down here and excavate it.
Yeah.
Walter would be doing the same, but more in a journalistic, like what makes a good story kind of angle. Like he's more the journalistic than the scientific aspect of what he's finding.
Is the professor able to establish whether they're all from the same like time period, or...
Make me an archaeology or a history roll, please.
Okay. I'll have it. History, that's 55, so that's a success.
They, as far as you can tell, they do all look to be sort of Viking in design. It's hard to be completely exact because of how rusted away they are, and sort of, but they do look to be of a similar period to the helmet and to each other.
And as it's kind of rooting through them, do they look to be, I know they're rusted and old, but do they look to have been damaged? So like, have they been killed?
Some
What
of
was in
it's
it?
hard. Some of them definitely look like there's some damage done to them. But it's quite hard to be certain whether it's damage from rust and decay, or whether they were damaged before they were placed here.
So not sure. Okay.
Not entirely sure, but you think there's definitely looks like that one there has, what could have been like evidence of sword damage on it.
Okay, so here you go. Frankie, there's some quite curious damage to some of these items over here. I don't know if you've noted, but and he'll start pointing out whether.
Of course, and I take very thorough research notes as the professor has taught me in his very specific and slightly weird shorthand for taking notes. But I know it very well, as I've had to decipher many a shorthand note left to me by the professor.
Perfect.
Okay. So you pause a while to take notes, and your lantern's still burning. You've been down underground about 3 hours by now.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the passageway leading onwards further and further. And as you're taking it for a while, Tom gives it, lantern's not going to last forever. Maybe we should get on down.
I was just wondering about lunch, but okay.
Oh yes, I do have the sandwiches. I suppose while we were also sitting here and taking notes, I could have passed out the sandwiches, and we could have had a quick little lunch break.
All right.
I've got
So
my own. Good.
You pause for a while. You eat your sandwiches, and then you head head onwards, and ahead of you this sprawling tangle of narrow passages, sort of branching and curving back on each other, and all rather similar looking. As you edged your way down a passage, it's hard to be certain whether you went that way before. And I'd like whoever is sort of taking the lead on this to make me a navigate roll, please.
Frankie?
Okay, that's gonna be great. That's my best roll. Oh well, actually, I got a 10 out
Right,
of 20.
Oh, we've had a bit of a
Uh-oh,
a
we've had a
camera
hiccup.
hiccup. Well, as Tam is listen to Tam's advice, we'll carry on. Yeah, and as you sort of wend and wind your way, it's not very long before you find yourself emerging out into a cavern. The passageway opening out into a much larger cavern. The stream having re-emerged, and you find yourself at the edge of this sort of knee-deep pool of water where the stream has pooled. And your lantern sort of reaching out sort of 10 feet around, you can only see sort of the very corner of this cavern. You can start to see that the ground ahead of you sort of slopes up from the water. And in the dim light of your carbide lanterns, you can see that the floor of the cavern as it rises up is covered with this carpet of small bones.
Okay.
Human bones?
Looking at them, make me a natural world check, please. See, I'm picking up a few. A lot of them are definitely small bones. You can see sort of small skulls, sort of what could be rodents.
That's a 72,
Um,
so it's a failure.
They look
I got a
small.
43 out of 55.
So, Professor, looking at them, you can determine mostly that they appear to be sort of small animals. Chester, you work out there are what look to be rats' bones, perhaps a dog's skull in there. Some of them are definitely sheep bones.
You're right. It
And-
looks to be like animals are falling down and dying down here.
And as you're doing that, Chester, make me a spot hidden. Everyone's
Probably
favorite
not.
Cthulhu.
Nope.
check
I got a
comes
46
out.
out of 25.
Okay. So yeah, you looking at these sheep bones and mixture of mixed bones. As the Professor and Chester are looking at them, Walter and Frankie, as you emerge into this cavern of bones, what are you doing?
I'm observing the professor, seeing what he's doing, how he's reacting to this. Otherwise, I'm just trying to take in the surroundings, see if there's any sort of indicators on if there were people down here at some point. Maybe there's markings or ways that show where they went through, what ways they went through. So just kind of checking for maybe unnatural
Make me a spot Make me a spot hidden, please.
Okay. My skill is 50. 26.
All right. So as you're sort of shining your light around, it lights up on something on the wall, and you see about head height. You see this scrape on the stone. These 3 dragged claw marks across the stone of the cave wall, cutting through sort of the damp and the damp that's flowed over this limestone. About sort of shoulder height. And I'd like you to make me a sanity check, please, as you see this.
40 on the dot. And I have a 40 sanity.
That is a success. Just. Yeah. You see these marks on the wall.
Huh. Professor, what do you make of these? And I show him the scrape marks.
Oh. What do I make of them? Well, he'll kind of peer at them closely. They don't appear to be natural, but
I mean, you can make me a natural world check.
okay. No, that's 59. I've got 50 for my natural world.
Maybe it's just possibly just where something scraped against it. You know, you've carried a lot of equipment down here.
I mean, possibly a bear or some such large creature. Maybe I really don't know. It's not giving off any signals. Kind of hold up the magnetron.
You've seen some of the passageways we've been through, though. I don't know if a bear could get through here.
Is there any sort of like hole? There's no like light coming from the ceiling. There doesn't appear to be like a hole in which something could have fallen down.
Apart from the light of your lantern, it is completely and utterly dark in here. No glimpse of daylight.
I mean, there are an awfully large number of small skeletons scattered across the floor, and something is being sustained by this, I suppose.
You seem
It
awfully
could be
calm
coming for the
saying that.
water.
Pardon?
I was thinking a large rat or something.
I look at the scrape marks and I look at the professor. I don't think that's a rat. And if it is a rat, I don't really want to meet this rat.
Is there any
it's really
other
not germane to the main issue.
Is there any other, as we look around now that we've been alerted to the claw marks, is there any other sort of like markings that this creature or animal might have left as a indication of size or type?
Make me another spot hidden, please. Actually, as you look around, so the cave itself, you can't really see. There's any other marks on the walls. You need a cave, a passage leading off on the far side of it. Perhaps two different passages leading off this central chamber.
I got a 9 out of 55.
And looking around, you do notice that several of the bones do have what look like teeth marks on them, as though something has been gnawing at them.
Like the marrow, does it look like, if I pick one up, does it look like the marrow has almost been sucked out of them? Or like
some of them, yeah, they've been perhaps cracked open.
Yeah.
You can see the marrow sucked out. You can see, yeah, teeth marks.
Does it seem
gnawed at them?
Does it seem like canine or predator, or does it seem more like rodent or
If you were having to hazard a guess looking at the size and shape of these tooth marks, you would actually say they probably look about the size of a human bite mark and about the shape of a human bite mark. And as this realization hits you, I need another sanity roll.
Okay. Okay, no. That's a 66 out of 44.
Another point of sanity lost.
Okay, so I just you see me go, like, you see Frankie kind of go over and like examine these bones, pick a couple up, and then like completely freeze for a good like 30 seconds as realization sort of the dots are connected, and Frankie does not like how the dots have been connected. And I just sort of stand there with this bone in my hand and I'm looking at it and I'm not saying
I'll come
anything.
up and take a picture.
You're gonna take a picture of Frankie.
Yeah.
Everything okay, sweetheart?
I would almost say, since it was like 20, like I failed it by 20 points, I almost feel like I dropped the lantern. Like the lantern I was holding. Like, yeah. I don't know if I dropped it. I don't know if I dropped it enough to break it, but I
It-
feel like I dropped it.
It drops into the water, and for a moment, sort of the cave gets that little bit darker. So there's now only 2 lights shining as the carbide lantern's extinguished as it falls into the water.
I kind of go, Frankie, I'm terribly sorry. She's usually extraordinarily reliable. I kind of scuttle across to where she is. What is it?
I'm sorry. I was examining these I don't know, and if you look, and I sort of like I'm showing the professor, if you look at the shape and the way that the indentation marks, I hate to say this, but I feel like this creature, whatever it was potentially human.
What? Well, there's a logical fallacy in what you're saying, Frankie. If it's not a creature, if it's human. I mean, that is what I've been saying for a long time. All these mythological nonsenses, it's actually humans, and it's electrical and magnetic fields, which is causing them to act in very strange ways. And this is more evidence that reinforces our hypothesis. This is wonderful.
Do I know, like, does the area have a history of cannibalism?
As far as you're aware, there is no history of cannibalism in Somerset.
Okay. I mean, I don't know.
That is a sentence I didn't know I'd ever have to. I'd have to utter. As far as
I'm
you're
originally
aware,
from Oxford, so I'm not originally from here. I feel like I was hired.
Some of the Somerset people, but no. As far as you're aware, they don't eat people.
They're not that weird.
They're very strange, these yokels.
It's very straight. Yeah, exactly.
Walter's jotting down different headline ideas about covert cave cannibals.
Nice.
As you're doing that, Walter, make me a listen check.
My target is 60. 29.
Finally, someone makes one.
No.
As this conversation,
We
you think you hear something out of the corner of your ear. This scrabble of feet echoing somewhere else off in the cave from one of the 2 other tunnels leading into this chamber.
Everyone pipe down.
Sound of something moving. And as
What?
I need a sanity check from you, Walter. Something out there. Something in the darkness.
Oh, finally, I got a 2. Finally, I passed one.
10.
10 success. Oh, maybe Walter. Maybe it's just an echo. It's fine.
Did anyone else hear that?
Hear what?
Thought I heard feet, but maybe that was just us scuttling around.
I'm like bending down now to like retrieve the lantern that has been, checking it for damage.
Yeah.
And
It doesn't look damaged. You think there's not too much of the calcium carbide left. This lantern is almost sort of reached its limit. It's almost burnt out.
all right, well then I'll take the other one that I have. I'll hook that one onto my backpack, the one that's spent, and I'll take the other one and I'll light it back up. And if I can transfer some of the oil, the rest of the carbide from the almost spent one to the other one, I'll do that.
You reckon you've got an hour left on your first carbide lantern?
Okay.
Probably tops at the rate you've been burning it. The fresh one you've got at least a good 4 hours on. So there is this block of calcium carbide.
All right, I'll still light the fresh one just to be on the safe side.
So, do we go down the way the scratch marks are, or the other way?
Well, where did you hear the echo from? The other noise?
Was that good enough to tell, or did it just seem from all over?
It sounded so apart from the passage you came in by, there's 2 sort of passages leading out of here. And from the left-hand one, you thought you heard sounds.
Which one had the scratch marks near it?
The one you came in by.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought I heard stuff down this left passageway. So I don't know if that's something we want to go towards or avoid. But to
I'm
me,
gonna make a chalk marking on the one that he heard sounds by, that with like a D for danger, and I'm gonna circle it.
I mean, that's an assumption there. I mean, sound might be something interesting. I kind of want to go down the left way.
Can I use my archaeology skill to try and work out how long ago those bones have been nibbled by human teeth?
Alleged.
So I'd say you could make that an archaeology one. Yeah, that seems like an appropriate
Yeah.
use of archaeology.
Figure how long the candles have been here.
That's a 43.
So just under 50 is my archaeology.
This doesn't. I mean, occasionally when you're looking through archaeological sites, you find stuff that's not actually, old and archaeological. Like some of these bones have not been here very long at all. Like that sheep's bone you're looking at with the teeth marks on is still a little bit of dried flesh on part of it. Like it's possibly been here a couple of weeks at the most. And I need a sanity roll from you as you realise that.
Yeah.
Chipping
32.
away as you
I'm
start.
good.
You're good. Worry is starting to mount at the back of your minds.
There's a certain concern. Frankie, did you notice some of these bones are active group of cannibals or something in the area being driven crazy by these electromagnetic fields? And this could be interesting to research, maybe.
All right, I'll make a note of it in my notebook. Do we want to take any of these bones back with us, Professor?
Maybe a couple of the smaller ones, just in case.
All right, I put a couple of smaller ones in my. I'm looking for definitely with the ones with the more pronounced like teeth marks in them.
Okay, so
Tom, I want to go
passage
down.
out of here are you taking?
I said, I looked at Tom. Tom, come with me. We're going down the left. You all are welcome to join if you'd like.
All right, lead on.
Start
Are
heading
we
down.
going with him?
That is it. That is up to
Is
you.
the left the one with the one where you heard the sounds coming from? Is that where you've written the D for danger, Frankie?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. The professor certainly had paused for thought, so he's going to slowly, and is quite happy to be behind now with his magnetron, but he will follow.
Follow the professor.
Yeah, if we give them a minute, we'll catch up.
Okay, so Chester, you're at the back.
Yep.
Okay. As you head on down into the dark, and the passage leads onwards, and you see it sloping quite steeply down, like becoming less of an easy walk and more of like a scramble and a climb downwards. At the back, Chester, as you depart and disappear away from the chamber where you found the bones, you hear a sound behind you. You hear a loud splash and scuttling and the noise from behind you in the darkness. And I need a sanity roll, please. Start it.
A run? That's an 8.
Okay. You're keeping it together. You're keeping it together.
Wow. I still run.
Okay. So whoever's second to last hears like Chester's feet echoing like
Yep.
hurries to catch up.
I just want to get in front of Walter and Frankie. I mean, sorry, not Walter. The professor and Frankie.
Oh, hey, what? What's that about? Hey, watch it.
I can touch it.
Walter's
I
trying
mean,
to
I paid for it. I can replace it. It's all right.
Walter's trying to stealth ahead, so he's just kind of like shaking his head at all the noise he hears behind him.
Hey, have you got a lantern, Walter?
I imagine whatever Tom had.
Yeah, Tom's lantern is still burning. It's getting dimmer and dimmer by now.
I have one. I have
Yeah.
the one that was given to me, but I haven't lit it yet.
Okay, good.
And as you reach the edge of where it starts to descend deeply downwards, and Tom goes, "It's going to be a bit of a climb. Do we want to head on down here?"
Yeah, I mean, we have these pythons we can hopefully lodge somewhere.
Do you want me to go first, or
Maybe.
you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go down first.
All right.
You let them know that I went down once I catch
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. You want the lantern, or do you want?
Are you going to be okay without it?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take.
The others will catch up in a minute.
I'll take his lantern then. I'm trying to save mine as long as I can.
All right. I'd like a climb roll from you, Walter, if you head down this
Okay.
this steep decline into the darkness.
Not worried about Tom.
The dice are loving me today. It's a 12.
All right. You reach the bottom of this just as the last flickers of the carbide lantern burn down, and you're left in utter blackness. Perhaps there's a very edge of a glimmer as Frankie's lantern sort of is seen. Oh, I think Chester's got a lantern. Yeah, Chester's got a lantern. Chester's lantern is starting to appear around the corridor above, but it's a very distant, tiny glimmer. Otherwise, it is completely, utterly dark down here. And you can hear something moving. This scrape. And there's something moving closer and then closer in the darkness. Walter.
You found it.
I would. It says I have a rock.
You can pick up a rock. Yeah, you can reach around and pick up a rock. Yeah.
I would like to throw it at the area I
sound?
have at the sound.
All right, make me a listen check. Let's see if you can.
60 is my target.
Yeah.
30.
You hear. All right. So you managed to pinpoint where the sound is coming from. Now roll me throw. He's hitting something in complete darkness.
20 is my target. No, that's
Or
a
is that
60.
extreme?
What did you get?
61.
So you hear the thump of the stone hitting stone, and then the scrabble of something moving in the dark.
Look like it's going away from me though.
It sounds
it's a
like
rat.
maybe. Sounds maybe. The sound echoes around you. It's hard to be entirely sure of direction. And you hear this breath. I need another sanity roll, please.
40 is my target. It's 37.
You're keeping it together. In the dark. You hear Tom's voice calling down from above. You right down there?
I just kind of tug the rope, like trying to indicate I'm fine without actually making any sound.
All right. So the rest of you have caught up with Tom now at the top of this descent, and he goes, Walter went on ahead.
Yeah. I'll say I heard the sound behind us. So are we looking for the sounds? We should just go back.
Oh, they could do it. Kind of peer down. Can we see it? Has Walter got a light, or is it?
No, it's complete darkness down there.
Is he okay? Oh, Walter, are you okay?
I'm sure he's fine. He's fine.
Voices echo off in the distance, Walter. You hear the sound of the professor's voice distorted and echoing down this corridor, and you hear again something moving.
Can I try and like feel along the wall and see if I can find a spot to maybe hunker down? Like essentially, I want like a hide or a stealth roll of some sort.
Yeah, you creep along and sort of you crouching down.
I don't want to be too far.
You have a
from
bonus. Yeah, I'm going to give you a bonus here.
Is this
It's so dark.
a stealth roll?
Yes, please.
My normal target is 60.
Yeah, so a bonus die means if you roll an extra.
Oh, okay.
I forgot you were sneaky in the first place, though.
14.
The lowest. You are very quiet and very still in the dark. Waiting. You hear the sound of Tom descending, getting closer and closer to you. Walter? Walter? Oh, and you hear this scream suddenly cut off as the sound of something scrabbling, hands scrabbling at rocks in the dark, and the rest of you can hear from the top this gurgling scream cut off as silence falls again. I need a sanity check from everyone, please. I'm not going to actually scream because my microphone and my housemates will hate it.
63.
It's
10.
Any failures?
That's a fail.
75.
Fail.
Okay. Failures, that's 2 points of sanity down.
So again, I'm 43.
I'm going to, seeing as I'm the only one that kind of kept it together, I'm going to take that lit lantern that I have, using the rope and sort of help myself down, trying to figure out where Tom may be located as well as Walter.
Okay,
I'm
make
gonna
me
put
a climb.
I'm gonna put the backpack down as well, just to make myself as unencumbered as humanly possible.
As she starts going for that, I think the professor would, in that moment, try and grab hold of her and go, "Look, Frankie, please don't leave me. We should stay together. This is not a good time to leave me on my own here."
At
Good,
least leave the
Chester.
lantern.
I can't leave the lantern.
No,
You have a lantern.
with the most oil in it. I'll swap you.
No,
Just
We
in
must have
case.
light. We must have light.
you have a light. I also left the other lantern that has an hour's left of light in it. You'll be fine. Just let me go get them, and we can, as you said, Professor, then all be together, and then we can make our way out of here. Because clearly, there's something. I'll be fine. It'll be fine. You'll be fine. You have Chester. Chester's not going to let anything happen to you. I promise. Right, Chester?
Yeah. Yep.
That's
Okay.
not that reassuring, but okay, Frankie, please hurry. Be careful. Be safe.
And just as an
All
extra precaution, I'm going to take the pencil that I have on me. I've been using to take notes, and kind of, instead of holding it like a writing utensil, I'm going to hold it like a dagger, basically.
All right, make me a climb roll as you descend down into the dark.
I will. Well, Walter will be swapping out his pencil for the actual knife that he has.
That is I needed a 30 and I got a 30 exactly. Right on the nose.
Okay, you manage to climb down the bottom, and as you descend, you've got your lantern still lit, yeah?
Yeah. I got the one with the 4 hours left in it, so.
Yeah. So you can see this light getting brighter and brighter as it gets closer to you. And Frankie, as you reach the bottom,
Mhm.
you can't see Walter,
Mhm.
and
Walter.
you can't see Tom, and you can
Tom.
just see what is the dropped end of the rope, and then this splattered smear of blood across the floor. I need another sanity check from you as a splattered smear of blood across the floor of the tunnel, heading
18.
splattered trail leading off. You're keeping it together. Leading
Walter,
off further into
Tom!
the dark.
Pipe down.
Walter, where are you?
I peek my head from whatever. Pardon me for not stalactite or stalagmite, whatever the.
Stalagmite.
Thank you,
Round
stalagmite.
one.
Why are you being so loud?
I'm not being loud. Get your ass over here.
Frankie, are you okay?
I'm fine. Shh.
Just saying,
Tom,
between us, we
Walter.
only have 2 hours. We've only got 2 hours of light. We have to go get that lantern.
I look for what? I look for Tom, at least, or in the like what might be left of Tom.
I try to cast it as I'm still holding on to the other end of the rope, but I'm trying to cast it as far as I can out to see as much as I can.
You can turn the lantern up to make it brighter and see
I would like
further,
to turn the lantern up to make it brighter.
but it will burn through the carbide faster.
I will turn it up for 5 minutes. Maximum.
So the light extends further. You can see clearly now, Walter. You have Tom's lantern. What was Tom's lantern, Walter?
Right.
It's burnt down. You have your own that still has carbide in.
Right.
You can see this smear of blood leads off, sort of down the passage, and then disappears through what appears to be a tighter section of the passage. And you see scrape marks along both sides of the wall. As
Does
if
it look
someone
like?
had
Does it look like a
had
passage?
tried to.
Does it
It
look
looks
like
like
a
it looks like you could squeeze through. Yes. But there's blood and these scrape marks down either side, as if someone had been trying to cling.
Hurry the hell up! Get down here.
Walter, no, we need to go back.
Go back. Tom's hurt. He could be dying.
Okay, clearly somebody is not doing well, and Tom is either incredibly hurt or is already dead, so why are we even chancing it?
Chester says we're running out of time.
At the top of the drop, Chester, at this point, your lantern burns out.
Oh,
And you and the professor are left in darkness. You can see the very distant light from down this drop, but the pair of you, are now in darkness.
I'll reach out for
Frankie!
the professor and hold him.
I will say as I see that dim light go, I gave you the other lantern, turn it on. I don't know if he knows how to turn on a lantern, so Chester, you might need to help him.
Lantern. There's a lantern. I seem to remember. It's kind of feeling around in the dark, trying to find the lantern.
I know. Normally I have someone else do this for me.
Scrambling for the lantern, your matches.
Sorry.
I did have some matches somewhere. I know Frankie gave them.
Literally
gather what I can and
left
try.
the two most incapable people alone together, and I'm loving it.
You can hear, Chester, the sound you heard before, the scrabbling sound. You can hear it again down the corridor you came down. There's something moving there in the dark.
I grab the professor and I say, "Shh! I hear it again. It's coming."
What? What do you hear?
It's
Is that
I need a sanity check from both of you as you're in the dark and you can hear something getting closer.
97, that's a fail.
And the camera, you failed so badly the camera's broke. What did you get, Chester?
I got a 48.
And
48.
That's a failure? Or a success for you? Is that a failure?
Oh, that's a failure. I'm at 37.
Okay.
Yeah.
Both of you cling together in your dark. That's a loss of another point of sanity for each of you.
Frankie! There's something here.
Frankie!
Climb down
I'm gonna look at-
faster.
Okay, I'm gonna look at Walter and I'm gonna say, turn your lantern on, and I'm gonna make my way back up to go get those two.
All right, that's another
I begrudgingly turn it on, but about as low as possible.
Okay, it's very dim, burning light. As Frankie, you climb back up. Make me another climb roll. See if you can manage this without incident. You climb back up the way you came, back up towards where the professor and Chester are waiting.
Okay, that is another 30 on the nose.
All right, so you make it back up to them with your lantern.
And before I did this, I turned it down. So we didn't. I turned the brightness level down on it.
Okay. Turned right down. So you've got one lantern with about an hour left, and 2 other lanterns with their original carbide in.
Frank, thank you so much. This is. We thought we heard something, didn't we, Chester? Down the corridor, and then the light went out, or maybe the other way around. And
Yep.
I feel like maybe this is enough exploration for the day.
Okay,
lots
well,
of findings.
Okay, calm down. Not to alarm you, but Tom is gone. And
Gone?
there is
Be
a
back.
very large bloody stain leading further down that way. And Walter wants to
Was
explore
that
it.
Walter?
No, I must admit I am slightly alarmed. Whatever you said, that does not sound doesn't sound good, Frankie. Where's Walter?
I told him to light his lantern, and I look down and I see if I can see a light down there.
Did Walter kill Tom?
I don't know what Walter did. I am assuming no. But I mean, he's been looking for a story all day. Would it be the weirdest thing if he tried to manufacture one?
You do it all the time, I hear.
It's very far-fetched.
You make up stories about me.
He did. Did I also see the knife in his hand when I went down? Because he did say that he switched out his pencil for the knife.
Yeah, he had a knife in his hand.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna be like, well, he like when I went down there, he had a knife in his hand. I didn't see if there was any blood on it. I will say that I didn't take a close enough look, but I do remember him not having a knife when he went down there.
Well, it's reassuring that at least this is confirming my hypothesis again, that it is just humans. Chester, I suppose, my boy, you've brought some kind of weapon with you, just in case.
I do. A gun beats knife, but I don't want to go down there and look to see if he's got blood on his knife.
So you're gonna go down there, Chester?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm good.
Okay. I will at this point.
But I'll pull out my revolver.
Oh, okay, that'll work.
Maybe we should just ask Walter. Maybe we could shout down and see what he has to say for himself.
So, meanwhile, as this conversation was happening back at the top, as Frankie climbed back up to the other two, Walter,
Echoes.
you were once more left alone down at the bottom of this tunnel. You have your lantern. Is it lit?
Yeah, like as dim as I can without. I want to keep like. I'm assuming dark is bad, so I don't want to be a beacon for them. I'm trying to conserve while also like kind of keeping some sort of radius around me.
Okay, so with this, the light reaches perhaps about sort of 5 feet or so away from you,
Okay.
like this dim. That's the lowest it will go. You can turn it up and make it brighter and make it reach further.
No, like I said, that's fine.
Yeah. As this dim area of light around you, beyond which shadows and darkness, and you hear a sound again, echoing voices in the distance, sounds, scrabbling of feet, more voices echoing, and then you see movement just on the very edge of your pool of light. You think it, at first maybe it's a shadow, and you see, clinging to the shadows of the corridor, you see something, a figure, a form, shifting, creeping.
I quickly, so this would be just like up and down, just high then down, like high beam then back down, just to see how it reacts to it.
Okay, so as you turn the light up, a couple of things happen. Firstly, the creature screeches and shies back a little, and you catch a glimpse of this face, these large pale eyes staring at you, this very human face with his teeth like jagged and caught with blood smeared around the mouth, and this definitely human but twisted face, like half, almost slightly animaloid. And I need a sanity check from you as you see in the bright light of your lantern this creature illuminated.
That's a 1.
A 1.
It's a rock.
You are, well, that's still 1 point of sanity lost. But you manage to somehow keep it together as this creature lets out this and shies backwards from you. As you turn the light up for a moment, what is your dexterity again?
Dex is 60.
Okay, so the creature shies back and then lashes out towards you. And as it lashes,
would I be able to have my knife up in defense?
you can attempt to fight back with your knife or to try and dodge out the way. The way off here is if you fight back and succeed, you do damage to it. But if it comes to a draw between successes, dodging beats fighting, whereas fighting back does not.
Okay,
So
then I'll at least initially my instinct will probably be to dodge out of the way and then maybe make an attack to follow up. So yeah, I will dodge first.
Okay, so this creature claws forwards towards you. I need a dodge from you, please.
38.
You manage to sort of dodge out the way as it's these long, ragged fingernails, almost claw-like, slash out towards you. You get a chance to act. The rest of you from at the top can hear the sound of something moving down there. Noises echoing upwards. It's shrieking that brief burst of light. Walter, what are you doing?
I will attempt to slash it with the knife.
All right, make a fighting brawl attack with roll your knife attack.
Can we see any of this happening down there now that he's lit the lantern?
You saw a brief burst of the lantern flared up bright for a moment, but you can't.
So
Can't see clearly what's going on.
Target in my weapons area, correct? Okay.
Yeah.
That's 22. Target was a 25.
All right. You managed to hit it. As you slash out with your knife. Your damage with that, I think, is a D4, if I'm correct.
D4 plus 2.
D4 plus 2. Even better.
It's 4 damage.
You slash out blood on your knife now as the creature scampers back and away back down the passage where it came.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Gone
no.
Out of your lantern light into the dark.
Help.
Pounding. But
Walter, we really should talk.
Walter, can you come up here, please?
No, you come down here. I was just
have
attacked.
A conversation.
You were just attacked, but we didn't see anything.
Because you were up there.
Isn't it safe up here where we're not getting attacked?
Fine, you stay up there. I'm going to go find Tom.
It sounds like I don't know. Does he know that Tom's dead? Maybe he's kind of rationalizing it and doesn't realize what he's done.
I will. I don't know if I have any sort of cloth or loose clothing. I will take maybe if I have a rag, I will wipe off the blood, pocket it, and try and peek the light through the crevice. I won't go through necessarily, but I will see if I can, in that tight squeeze where we saw the scratches.
You can see the corridor heading further beyond there. You reckon you could squeeze through. It's not much narrower than the passage where you squeezed through before when you came down into the cave.
You're really going to make me come up there and waste more time?
Have you come away from the danger? Sensible. Yeah.
One person, please.
We're gonna. Chester, you go down there.
All right.
Just go towards the lamp.
You do have the revolver.
All right. I will climb down. I'll holster the revolver and I'll climb down.
All right, make me a climb check as you clamber your way down to join Walter at the bottom.
I'm coming down. Step away from the exit. And I got a 28 out of 55.
Manage it without any difficulty. You get down to the bottom where you see Walter sort of shining this lantern through this narrow squeeze in the tunnel.
I look around.
And there is blood on the ground. You can see there is blood smeared on the ground. There's blood and drag marks on the walls. I do need a sanity check from you.
I don't
Does he get
make
any
that.
advantage
It's a
because I prepped him?
53.
Pardon? What did you get, Chester?
53.
One more point of sanity down.
Not much left. Hey. Where's the danger coming from, Walter?
Well,
and I stand back against the rocks.
I kind of step over and show him like the scratch marks. This is where it looks like Tom was dragged. He was climbing down, and I'm sure you heard the screams. This creature that came at me, that it was human-like, but mangled, and teeth were sharp. It was nothing I've ever seen before.
Where is it now?
You got a bloody knife now.
It ran off. I was able to get it with the knife a little bit, but it seems to be adverse to light. I heard it come towards me at the light dim. I turned it on high, and it didn't seem to like that. Turned the light back down.
Do you have your knife on you? Can you hand it to me?
I show him.
Is there any blood on the knife?
How well did you clean it off, Walter?
I mean, like I said, I feel like I probably take good care of it, so I didn't want. If I know I probably need to use it again, so I probably cleaned it off as good. And I mean, I probably wouldn't even hide showing. I showed them, right. This is, if you want proof, here's what I used to clean it with.
And it looks like normal human blood?
Yes.
Yeah, like very much like the blood on the ground.
As far as you can tell, yeah, it's red, it's blood.
All right, cool. I'll say, all right, well, let's go up the top and show the rest, because it sounds like it's dangerous down here. We should go. We don't have much light left.
We're leaving Tom here to die.
No, he's born down here. He knows his way around. He'll be right.
He clearly said he didn't know his way around.
Do you want to crawl through the claw gouged out caverns covered in blood, or do you want to walk out through alive?
I'm here to get a story, and right now we have proof of nothing.
We could take a picture of this. I got a camera. That's proof. I'll take a picture.
A dark room. A dark room. I'm sure that'll be great. Yeah, fantastic.
Split the party.
All right. Do you think there's proof down that cavern?
At the very least, Tom could be down there bleeding out.
Where'd the creature run to?
Did he go down that same pathway? Did I get any semblance of?
Looks like that's where it went. That was the only way currently further down from where you are at the bottom of this
looks like the
So-
only way to go.
Do you have to crawl on your hands and knees to get through it?
You have to kind of squeeze, perhaps do a bit of crawling.
Professor has shouted down, did you get his knife? Is it safe? Should we come down now?
Wait,
I
wait.
don't think it's safe.
Wait. What do you mean? Did you get his knife? Did you think I killed Tom?
Well, yes,
You think I
but
bloody killed Tom?
you see, what? Yes. I don't see anyone else down
You think I
here.
had time? Like, do you see a body? Do you think I had time to try and squeeze myself through there with him back out here in time with all this stuff? No, he was taken through by that creature. I said, makes no sense.
So, do you want to take me through the cabin and show me?
I
where
want them to
where
come
Tom
down.
went?
You've seen those two. You've seen the professor. He shouldn't
All right.
be. He shouldn't be by himself in the dark. These lanterns aren't going to last long.
Okay, all right. Well, if you stand as far over on that wall next to that entrance there, I'll call the others two down.
Fine. If that'll make you feel better.
March.
I'm
All
just
right, I'll
saying.
call-
I'm the one with the. Do you have a lantern on? Sorry. Do you have a lantern on? Do you have one as well?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, I'll be over here with the light.
Okay.
Saying the thing
All
likes
right.
the dark.
All right, I'll call up to. It's safe to come down. We just want to investigate one more nook, and then we're out of here.
Okay. Well, Frankie. Let's go.
Professor, I know you don't want to leave your device here, but I think it's best, especially if we're going to come back out this way, we leave as much stuff as we can. I'll take the backpack. I can't fit your machine, nor would I want to fit your machine into the backpack, because I do know how delicate it is. But I think perhaps to help you get down a little bit easier, that we just leave it here. For now, we'll come back for it. We're coming back out this way, so it'll be safe. We can kind of put it, off to the side, so nobody can see it or find it. I mean, we could even, if it makes you feel better, we could even put the lantern that has an hour left of light on the on next to it, so you can keep a visual eye on it at all times. I just want to make sure that you're going to get down there safely.
That's terribly thoughtful of you, thank you. But we are here as a research mission as much as anything, and I rather feel like it would defeat the purpose.
I think we've left the world of research when whatever happened to Tom happened to him.
The professor looks astonished at what you said. But there's no reason to be here if we're not going to research, Frankie. This is,
We've researched.
What would I do?
Researched enough. We've researched enough. We have the notes. I show him my notebook. We can come back here another day, but if we're going to do this, you need to put down your machine, just so then it's safe. Would you feel bad if it got damaged while we were down there and we had to run for our lives? Isn't it safer? Isn't it safer up here? I will gingerly attempt to take it from him, kind of like a parent, takes something that a child should not have, but doing it in the most gentle way possible. Like, oh no, come here, sweetie, just give it to me.
I mean, maybe I could just work with key components of it. Maybe if you give me some. Okay, he very carefully puts it down, and then reaches in and clicks out a little portion of it. Maybe just this. This is the lodestone compass device. This could work.
Okay.
Am I allowed to? Yes.
A compass
I mean,
is good.
It's very basic data. yes, basic data, but it's better than nothing, and at least I can still continue to research as we go. Peers down.
And I'm going to take the other lantern and I'm going to put it on and turn it on right next to his machine. And I say, see, look, it's going to be fine. We'll be able to see it. If anything happens to it, we'll know, okay? Now, I want you to go first. Grab the rope. Go first. I will be right. I'll give you the. I'll be right down. Chester is right at the bottom. You're gonna be fine, and I will be right down after you. It's gonna be okay.
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 I have a climb roll from the professor, please. Frankie, just be clear. Are you leaving the lantern behind?
Okay, so here's the deal. We had I had 2 lanterns. One of them has an hour long left. That one I lit back up and put next to the machine. I still have the one that has the 4, probably 3 hours remaining left.
Okay. All right.
Clarification.
Okay.
Just making it clear which lantern was where. All right.
Yeah,
So
no,
what did
you're
you
good.
get?
You're good. It's you're fine.
What did you get on your climb there, Professor?
The professor looks up at Frankie and just says, "Frankie, you're such a comfort," and then rolls a 1 on his climb roll.
Oh,
shimmies down.
I'm talking him down the whole way he goes. You're doing great. You're almost there. You got this.
So pleased you're here. It's wonderful. Couldn't do it without you.
Make it to the bottom with style. Who knew that you were a cave climbing genius?
And now it's my turn.
All right, Frankie, make me that climb roll.
Okay, that was not so good. I was very, very worried, apparently, about the professor being down there in the dark by himself, so I may have botched. I may have gone a little bit too fast because I rolled a 75.
You slide, and as you hit the bottom, you hear a kind of crunch from your ankle.
Oh, no.
No.
And your speed is now halved as you feel your ankle twist beneath you and something pops out of place.
Well, Frankie, are you okay? It's kind of dashes over.
No, I'm fine. I'm totally okay. It's gonna be okay. Ow.
Is it twisted ankle? Have you? That could be terribly
No,
painful.
I don't think it's twisted. I think I may have actually broken it. I'll be okay. It's gonna be okay. Things are gonna be fine.
God.
But Chester, you might need to hold the backpack. You might need to shoulder the backpack now because I don't think I can walk with it.
I will do that for you, and I will make sure that you're seen to with the best of care when we're out of here.
Yeah, much appreciated.
We'll be fine. But, Walter, we would have been safe and fine leaving, but now we've been injured. I'm going to continue on just for you.
You want to go back?
I don't know if I
I'm
can
not
actually go
forcing anyone.
through there.
I'm not forcing anyone to go.
All right.
So
Are
just
you
to
heading
be clear,
onwards?
is Walter a murderer or not? Have we established Chester?
No, we've established nothing. But I think he wants to take us to where the body is.
If you'd like, I'll go first too, if that makes you feel better.
Much.
I think so.
Okay. Make me a dexterity roll, please, to squeeze through this narrow space, Walter.
Okay, Dex.
Yes, Dex, please.
60. That's 33.
You manage to slip through into the passage continuing beyond. Is anyone following him?
Is he alive still?
Yeah.
Hear a scream.
Walter, you've got a light. You can see the light, the passage winding down further and then starting to open out again into another cavern.
If they're coming through, I'm going to try and extract what carbide I can from Tom's lantern. If there's any left.
There was none left. It had burnt out.
Completely burnt. Okay.
I'm gonna.
Back to the super dim setting.
I don't know if I can make it through there with a broken ankle.
I imagine the professor would very clumsily do the kind of arm over the shoulder, trying to support you as you're walking, maybe getting in the way as much as anything else.
Yeah, what if I take the bag through and then try and bring you on the other side as well?
I'm just afraid that if we have to run. I'm not. It's.
Fine. Are we turning back?
Did we find was Tom's body on the other side of it?
So
Right.
Walter's only just past this narrow point. You can see it opening out into a cavern further beyond if you continue away from where the others are.
I'm going to whisper to the three of them and be like, okay, listen, I don't know if Walter did it or not, but Chester, you have our only gun. So why don't you go with him and I'll stay here with the professor. And do you have any other weapons on you?
I've only got this climbing piton thing. I can give you that, but I might need it if it gets.
I'll take a couple of the pitons from the bag. I'm assuming we have more than one.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've got a couple.
Just go with him, Chester. If there's any funny business, if you can't find Tom, if it's give him 15 minutes. Give him 15 minutes to do his little search, get his story. But if you haven't found anything, then come back and we'll get out of here and we'll call the authorities.
All right. I'll go. Be safe.
Okay.
And I'll
I'd
squeeze
like
through.
Dex from Chester, please.
29.
As I make my way in, I would start looking in this cavernous area for Tom.
Okay, so as Chester's making his way through and catching up with Walter, in the dim light of your lantern as you're looking around this cavern, you can see there's a couple of other sort of passageways leading into it, these narrow passages leading into this central chamber. The most striking thing as you walk into this room is you can see on the walls appear to be paintings. You can see they almost seem to be layered over each other in older faded pictures with fresher, newer pictures on in front of them. The freshest of all seem to depict two crudely drawn armies of stick figures. One with a cross above them and one with a snarling wolf above them. They appear to be in the midst of battle. But more faded behind that, you can see paintings of mammoth and bison being hunted by yet more sort of crude stick figures. And even more faded and older, sort of painted over behind those, you can see a strange painting of this great bloated figure hunched in the entrance of a dark hole and surrounded these almost human, these not quite humanoid forms looming and surrounding this great hulking figure in the center. But those are very, very faded onto the wall of the cave, layered up since with what look like newer paintings.
Chester, is that you?
Yeah. Yep.
You have that camera?
I very much do. It's the best thing that I own. It's amazing. Have you seen this technology?
Well, get ready to take. I kind of point in the general areas, and I would crank up the brightness on the lamp if you can, as high as it'll go, but quick as quickly as you can, please.
Okay.
All right. Let's see how your photography is there, Chester.
Pretty good. 2%.
Pretty good. You reckon you've got some decent pictures from that. As you snapping away, you hear the scutter and scrabble from one of the other passageways, something off moving one of the side passages.
Well, and you kind of see a change in Walter. Well, Tom could be anywhere. I think I got the proof I needed. We could probably go back now.
Yep. You heard that too then.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
too many passages to explore. He could be anywhere.
Yeah, nah, let's go.
All right, as you two start heading back, we go back over to Frankie and the professor.
Mhm.
And you are back in.
I'd be
in this-
trying to. I was going to be trying to first aid up her ankle if possible.
Oh yeah, make me a first
So-
aid check. Let's see if we can.
do.
Sit yourself down, Frankie. Let's have a look, see what we can do. That's
Okay.
a 6.
Yeah.
All right, so you've managed to bind it up, and I'll say that's brings your move rate up to a 6.
Okay.
You're still a bit slower than normal, but you
It's
are.
stabilized enough where if I'm going to have to break out into a sprint, I'm not going to immediately fall flat on my face.
Not immediately.
Not immediately.
And as you're binding this up in the light of your lantern, you can hear echoing sounds of just outside of the light of your lantern. You can hear. And you see the faint shadow of something moving around from the passage where you climb down. You hear the stone gets knocked downwards. And
Can I look
hear
towards?
something? It sounds to be creeping down that steep decline.
Can I look towards where we placed the professor's machine and the other lantern? Is there any
Yeah.
sort of light being thrown off from, or is there
Looking up-
anything?
It's a very dim glimmer of light coming from the top of there, just enough to give you a sense of the shape creeping down towards you. You can't see it clearly, but the light from behind, the light from front, is just enough to show you that this humanoid form creeping down on all fours down this steep passageway. Getting closer.
There. I think that'll
Then
help.
pausing.
Frankie, it should be much better now.
Professor, do not, you know what? Yeah, thanks. I'm literally just going to start talking to him and attempting to not distract. I'm trying to keep his focus at me and not looking at the thing that's currently
Okay.
stalking towards
Okay.
us. But at the same
Make
time,
me
I'm slowly going for a rock.
Make me a sanity check there, Frankie. Let's see if you can keep it together.
That's a 65. That's a no.
All right. That's another point of sanity lost. Is that down to a 40?
42 for
42.
me. 42 out of 45.
Alright.
So I got a little bit more to go, but
Yeah, you can feel your hand shaking as you go for the rock.
mhm.
Yeah, and Professor, you can see the worry on her face in the light.
Something wrong, dear? Kind of looks around and
It's just my ankle. It hurts a lot.
You look around,
well,
and the moment you look around, there's a bunching of muscle as this creature springs forwards
Oh no.
towards the pair of you.
I also have I kind of hold my pencil up defensively, but I'm on the ground.
It's
The pen is mightier.
It springs forward towards the pair of you, and Professor, you're slightly in front. You can see Frankie on the ground, and it's gonna try and make a grab for the weak and wounded prey.
Yep. I figured that was going to happen.
Yeah, poor Professor.
You can try and dodge or fight back here, Frankie, if you're in any way.
I'm gonna try and dodge, I guess.
All right, make me a dodge.
No,
See,
that's actually a critical fail with a 98.
so you try and scramble out of the way, but you're down on the ground. Your ankles bandaged up, and this creature's claws sink into your leg, and it starts to drag and pull you away. And
Scream.
that is, as you scream, that is 4 hit points lost, damage. These claws rake into you, and all of you including those that you hear as you reach the narrow point. You hear this scream echoing around.
Chester, we have
Which
to hurry.
leg? The good
And-
leg or the bad leg?
Yeah, the good leg or the bad leg?
The bad leg.
Okay.
Worst leg.
It's still just half done.
It's still one
the-
busted leg.
As it claws and it's trying to sort of pull you back and away into the dark. And Frankie, you're up next.
Okay, I would like to attempt to. I'm assuming I can attempt to get it out of its grasp. Like, can I try to like kick it like with
Yeah, you
my
could-
free leg?
Fight back, yeah. Make me a fighting brawl.
So is this a strength or?
Fighting brawl should be on your. If you're trying to damage it, that's fighting brawl. If you're just trying to struggle out of it, I'll say, make me a strength to pull away from it.
I'm probably at this point not trying to damage it, more just trying to get out of its grasp.
All right, that'll be strength then.
That's a 100. It's a fumble.
You feel yourself as it's dragging you back away, and you're now outside of the pool of light around
Yep.
the professor into the dark
Oh,
shadows
can I
beyond.
Can
We'll
I
get to you
jump and
first.
try and grab her? Okay.
We'll get to you in a sec. Meanwhile, on the other side of the tight squeeze, Walter and Justin, you hear this scream. What are you doing?
I run for the crevice to get through.
Well, yeah, we were trying to get. I think we were trying to go back.
Yeah.
All right, just make me a dex so you can get through that without getting stuck.
38.
Yeah. So you're
Yeah,
getting through. Walter behind you. What did you get?
55, which is good.
Okay, so
Oh,
the two of you
60,
trying to
60
squeeze through back into the chamber. Professor, it's your turn. Frankie's been dragged away out into the dark and the shadows. What are you doing?
So she's already gone into the dark.
Yeah,
'Cause-
because you had your
yeah,
lantern
okay.
fairly good.
All right, I'm going to start screaming it in Anglo-Saxon, shouting, "Let go of my assistant!" And I'm going to grab hold of the lantern and start towards one direction.
So you're running after her, shouting in Anglo-Saxon.
Anglo-Saxon with the lantern. I'm going to pick the lantern up.
Oh God.
So
They cast
as-
spells as well.
you hear this strange language enchanted as the professor, as the light now illuminating this creature, its wide eyes, dragging Frankie back. I need a sanity roll from both the professor and Frankie. You now can see this creature in the light of the professor's lantern. And
Oh no, that's 46. I'm down another one.
That's a 24. I somehow managed to keep it together, even though I'm being dragged.
It's the pain.
what was
It's
that?
the pain, yeah.
So that's 1 point loss for Frankie.
Oh,
And was that a
Or-
failure?
no, I
Professor?
have a 20.
No,
20
no.
forward.
1 point loss on it. 1 point loss on a success, and on a failure.
Oh,
What did you get, Professor? Was that
I got a fail. Yeah.
that is 4 points lost for you?
Oh wow. 1, 2, 3.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ah.
I think the professor would just freeze then and stop where he is holding the lantern, and the Anglo-Saxon words die on his lips as he just goes, Frankie.
All right. The creature pauses for a moment. There's a light blinking in the light, and you can see it's dressed in these ragged clothes, half naked, but there's still rags and shreds of ancient rusted armor on it. As it shies back for a moment, it lets go of Frankie's leg. Frankie, it's your turn.
I would like to attempt to scrabble back towards the light and the professor.
All right. You
And
scrabble back
and chucking the rock that I have in my hand at it.
All right, make me a throw.
Yeah, okay.
Make me a throw check.
No, that's a 95. It goes
The
wide.
echoing around. Professor, what are you on currently with your sanity?
That's 38 now.
Okay, 38. It's still good. Still good for now.
Okay. Shaking.
And you're shaking. It's your turn, Professor. Frankie scrambled back towards you. This creature has shied back a little. It's at the foot of the steep slope. What would you like to do?
Can I hear behind me the other two coming?
The other two have just emerged into this chamber where you're all in. You can
All right, I'm just
about
gonna
make out. You can see them in the swinging lantern light. This chaos of
Okay.
moving forms.
I'm going to try and grab hold of Frankie as much as I can, and we're just going to stumble back towards where those other two are, if she'll go with me.
Oh yeah, I'm going. I'll go with
Yeah.
him.
I'm just getting away back behind the guys, if possible.
All right. Chester or Walter?
So I come through and see Frankie's leg. I say, "Oh God, I thought you just broke it."
No, and I point.
And Chester, you see in the swinging, flickering lantern light, you're the last person who's not yet seen this thing, so I need a sanity roll from you.
This
As
could
you
break
see
me.
this creature hunched down at the foot of the slope.
50.
That's a failure.
Yeah. Don't be 4 or more. What is it going?
Oh,
I
You
go to
lose 5 points of sanity.
and I go to 31. So I get temporary insanity and also full-on insanity.
Yes, which luckily are the same thing. So they
good.
don't stack on top of each other. But I
I
need you
can't
to
get doubly as insane. All right.
I need you to roll me a d10 and then another
Okay.
d10.
All right. So I come out brandishing a firearm, going insane. And the first
Yep.
D10 is 9,
this is gonna go great for us.
and the second D10 is an 8.
Okay. So you have now, in this circumstances, it could be worse. It could be a lot worse. You've picked up a new phobia here, and I think there is only really one appropriate phobia here. I think you should go for
Caves.
Journalists.
claustrophobia or fear of darkness. Darkness or caves? Which are we going for here? Which is
Journalists.
the biggest problem currently?
Caves.
Fear
Okay,
of the
so
Fourth Estate.
Never
Yeah.
going back
Wait,
in a cave.
that was a bad choice. I should have picked darkness because I was fine in the light. Caves, I'm terrible everywhere.
so yeah, you can feel it. It's closing in around you. So any action other than a sanity check and a fighting check, you've got penalty to at the moment. As you're in the grip of this fear, you're trapped. You're in a cave. You're in the grips of this phobia. So add that to your sheet. You've picked up a new phobia.
And where we got claustrophobia.
Do you believe me?
Yes.
And as is going on, do you believe me now?
I believe nothing. I just want to get out of here. I said from the start I wanted to go. Now I want to go. Let's go.
Yeah. And you are currently indefinitely insane until you reach a place of safety, Chester.
Yep.
So any other losses of sanity will incur a further bout of madness.
All right, good.
On top of this,
Would you like
this current one?
Would you like to climb up first?
Walter,
Yep, I'll
what
go.
are you doing?
Let's go.
I will.
This creature's still there.
I know. I will try and get it to leave by flashing the high beam on quick again.
And you see it go scampering back up the slope, back into the darkness. You see stones skittering down.
We don't have a lot of time. If we're gonna get out of here, you best hurry.
Well, which way are you going? The
Here,
creature.
okay. Professor, how are you?
Frank,
Here. Okay, are you okay? Can you climb up?
I'll try. Come on, yeah.
Quickly
Let's get out
now.
of here.
Remembering
I
that
would
the
like to
creature
have already
has
started.
the creature has just scampered up that slope.
Oh, I would. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it just went up that climb.
Okay. My intention was to try and divert it away from there, but that's fine. If that's where it went, that's where it went. Fine. I'll go up first. I will have I will attempt to go up first and try and keep pushing it away since I have the source of light.
Okay, so you're going up towards it.
I am going towards it.
Okay.
And I'm probably the most sane person here, ironically.
Make me a climb roll, please, as you head on up.
It's fine.
18.
You'll be safe.
Mm.
What did you get? Was that a success?
18.
All right.
Yes.
So you make it up to the top, sort of holding your lantern. You can see sort of the passage leading back to the chamber where you found the bones before.
I'm just waiting to hear sounds. It's not here right now. Best hurry.
Make me a listen check.
30, which I think is a success. Yeah. 30.
It's quiet. And then in the quiet, you can hear from further down the passage ahead of you, you can hear scrape, skitter of bones sliding.
Okay, I will dim. I'm trying to conserve this lamp as best as I can. I will only turn it on if, like, heighten it if I feel like it's close.
And from the sounds, you start to think there might be more than one of them.
Best hurry.
I'm gonna look at the professor and go, Professor, you go next.
Are we sure, my dear? That's where the creature went.
As long as we have a light, you will be fine.
Why don't we send Chester? He's got the revolver.
You
He should be the last one to go because he has the revolver.
gonna leave me all alone? I
Is
don't
that
want to
other
be alone. Where are you
lantern
gonna
still
go?
lit?
All right, are you climbing up?
It's going to be okay. Just go.
Okay, I'll try. Are you sure?
Go.
Kind of shoving him up there.
Yeah.
That's a 73. That's a fail.
All right, so you you feel yourself slipping and sliding, and you manage to catch.
I really don't think this is a good idea.
You manage to catch yourself, just clinging to the rope. That's 1 point of damage, just bruising and scrapes around you.
Is that other lantern still lit that
Is that hit?
Frankie had
Yeah,
left?
the one.
It's-
Yeah, the ones up there should still be
The
up
very
there.
last glimmer as it's just reaching its final burning down.
Okay.
While this is going
So I'm
on,
halfway up, kind of hanging on.
Yeah, you can manage to clamber your way to the top, but yeah, you're a bit bruised
Okay,
and battered.
so I get there eventually.
I'm going to try
Frankie, quickly!
take before it goes out. Use the carbine and try and fashion some with like the rags I have. Fashion some makeshift torches because I have some waterproof matches. So if need be, I'm going to try and like use the rags, wrap it around maybe a python, and then if I need to light it, I'll try and do that in
Okay,
an
so
emergency.
Mark down, you've got a makeshift torch for an emergency.
Sweet.
All right, Frankie and Chester down at the bottom
I'll
of this
go.
slope.
Yeah, I'll go next.
Okay. As you climb up, Frankie, I'm gonna ask for a penalty die.
Yep, that's what I figured was gonna happen. So, and it's the 10, not the, or it's the
It's
the
a
bigger
tense one.
percentile.
Yeah,
okay,
bigger
it's the
percentile,
10th.
and
Okay, so, and I take the higher, correct? Of the
you take the higher. Yes.
well, that's a pity because without the penalty, I got a 13, but with the penalty, I got an 83.
So again, as you scramble, like sliding back a couple of times, like scrapes and cuts on your very much injured leg. That's an extra point.
It hasn't been bandaged yet either, so it's bleeding free.
There's blood. That is going to be an extra point of damage there.
Yep.
Where are we at with hit points, Frankie? Just out of interest.
I started with 11, and I am down to 5.
All right, Chester. Frankie
Yep.
heads on up this slope. You can feel the walls pressing in around you.
Where's
Your-
the light?
I took it with me.
Okay.
It's dark. You can very much aware of the weight of the stone of the hillsides pressing down on you, and you can hear sounds behind you. You can hear the scraping.
I take a shot behind me as I try and scramble up in the darkness.
Okay.
Fire the gun.
The sound and the echoes around. The sound of gunshots and bullets striking stone, but no scrabbling, no sort of thud in response.
Yep.
I'm gonna. You've got a penalty die as well for this climb, as you're panicked, and
Do you get the penalty stack like slippery blood and also darkness and?
yes, they can stack. Yes, so actually,
Do they?
you know
do they
what?
right now?
That'll be 2 penalty die actually. Very good. It's dark. You're panicked. It's slippery with blood. You're trying to climb with a gun in your hand.
77 is more than 60. 55. Yeah,
So-
77 is.
Panicked as you scrambled up, you slipping and sliding back down to the bottom, and
Yeah.
something breaks. I'll let you pick the bone.
Oh, my pinky. No.
Oh, tailbone. Tailbone would be fun.
Oh, tailbone's good. Fall on my ass. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, pain shoots
pain
up. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
point of damage for that, rather.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so painful.
So
Did I
pain,
hear? Did we
You're
hear the
down.
falling sound, like the slipping
You
sound?
heard the gunshot.
I
Does he have a
stay
gun?
on the
Does he have a gun?
ground. I stay on the ground sobbing.
And as you hang
Chester,
on, you
Tie
can
the
hear-
rope. Tie the rope around you, and we'll pull you up.
Okay, I tie
Something
the
is moving
rope
closer,
around me.
Chester. In
Huh?
the dark, Chester, you can hear it. It's
Mm,
getting closer.
Oh yeah, that's Chester, not me.
yeah. Is it?
Complete darkness, and you feel a hand.
Oh,
Oh, thank
on
God,
your
Frankie.
leg.
Thank you, Frankie.
And then the grip
All your-
tightens,
Oh,
Frankie.
and you feel yourself being pulled backwards down the corridor.
Scream. And I
You hear a scream echoing. You're being just tug. You
I-
can try and
try and
scramble your way
shoot.
out. You can
I'll try and shoot downwards.
try and shoot it. Yeah,
Then I'm going to drop the bloody gun.
there's a penalty die on this
Uh,
because it's pitch black.
How many? 'Cause
Just
that's a
one.
good roll. How many? All right.
Just one because you.
Oh God, 70 again. 77 again.
Sorry.
That's
In the
okay.
complete darkness, the gun fires off.
Yes.
You've got 4 bullets left in your gun.
By
That is
chance,
true.
would like the flash still scare it off?
Let's see. Make me a luck roll, Chester. Let's see if you're lucky here.
come on, Chester. You can do it.
6.
The
That's
grip on
pretty
your leg
lucky.
loosens, and you hear it scrabbling away. But you're still in complete darkness down there. You don't know if it's still there or not.
I
Chester,
get
hold-
up and run.
Hold on tight. We'll pull you up. And if like hoping he's pulling it out, trying.
So,
Yeah.
with the
Did I
help of
grab
the
the
rope,
rope?
Chester,
Okay.
if you
Yep.
grab the rope, you've only got 1 penalty.
All right. I grab the rope. I try and
We
get
pull.
up.
As you're scrambling up in panic, trying to cling.
96. That's pretty good.
You're scrambling up. You're injured and bloody. You feel it again. You feel it
Yep.
being just as you sort of reach towards the top. the
Pulled
rest of
in
you
two
see-
directions.
You see Frankie's sort of arms start to appear, and Frankie, you feel the pull down
Grab out.
below.
I reach out for him and I try to pull him with all my.
Oh, thank
might.
God.
Okay, strength, Frankie.
Oh boy.
Took a
Well,
roll here.
Frankie,
44.
You won't let me
out of
down.
50.
You, against the odds, somehow manage to yank him free of this grip. Chester, you feel the claws rake at your leg as you're pulled free of this creature's grip. That's another point of damage, but you are free. And you hear this thing scrabbling back down into the darkness.
Ah, my pants.
And I do.
Professor, you take
Panic.
Frankie. I'll take Chester, and we'll keep moving.
Chester, I do need another sanity roll for that experience.
64 is more than 30.
You lose 1 point of sanity. But unfortunately for you, you are already insane. So as you lose that point of sanity, I need roll me a d10.
3.
Uncontrollable violence.
Oh no. You
You
got
have
the
one.
gun.
Or
Yeah. Chester's got a gun.
you've got a gun, you feel the fear and panic faces looming out at you. What are you going to do, Chester?
Walter's just grabbed me?
Walter, who may or may not have killed someone. You don't know. Things are getting very hazy down here.
Yep. Yeah, I'd take a shot at him because he's trying to kill me. Makes sense. And he threatened me at the start of the campaign. Yeah, makes sense.
I just said I knew why he was
Alright.
here.
All right, make me a firearms roll, please, Chester. Roll me your gun.
With a negative, doesn't matter. That's an 82. It's 2.
I'm gonna say there is no penalty this time because you've not got
Oh.
penalties to fighting. But
The one I rolled was 82.
the shot goes wide.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? You're trying to get me? You're trying to get me like Tom?
I'm trying to help you.
You're
You
trying-
fell.
You pushed me. You took my
I didn't
light. I couldn't
push
see.
you.
Yeah. The blood you left. Let's go. I'm gonna go.
All right. So as you head back, sort of up the passage back, you're now back in the chamber with the bones. This pool of water in the center, and these slopes of animal and sort of various sizes of animal bones forming these slopes. You can see the two more passageways leading out of here. The one you came in, and the other one you didn't go down.
The professor's carrying his magnetotron again, and all of the time that Chester was being pulled up out of the hole and the gunshot, he was with his magnetotron. He kind of looks between the two. Where are we going?
I look for the
yeah.
arrows.
Home.
I mean, you can recognize the passageway you came in out of, the one with the scratch marks on the walls.
We go back the way we came.
All right, so as you head back into that twisting labyrinth of tunnels, I'd like whoever's taking the lead here to make me a navigate roll.
Okay. Oh, hey. A 9.
All right, so if you wend your way back through this passage, you can see the chalk marks you smeared on the wall before. And as you find your way back towards where you found the skull and the helmets and things, as you reach back to that as your lanterns are starting to burn down.
Once it goes, right as I feel like it's about to go out, I will try and use one of the waterproof matches to light my crude torch.
So this torch is burning with this very dim, flickering, smoky light, as opposed to the brighter light of the carbide lanterns.
And if I will ask the group, like, if you have any loose rags or items that I can keep wrapping around to keep the light going, please pass it forward.
I actually take out from my pocket something that I've kept on me. It's a one scribbled page taken from a book. I have no idea what it means or what I did with the rest of the book.
Okay. And you're burning it?
I sort of before I give it to him, I sort of look at it, like trying to like maybe discern any sort of last meaning.
The words in the flickering light of the torchlight, the words seem to twist and move on the page. I need a sanity roll from you, please. As the words seem to twist and move in the page, and you.
No, that's a 99. Why am I rolling 90s? This is not helping me.
It's counterbalancing my rolls, apparently.
Apparently, I'm the counterbalance.
Right,
Yes, yeah.
As you stare at that, you remember sort of almost flashback to when you've read this book, you've seen this book, and like the contents were disturbing. It told you things that you really wish you didn't know, that there are things older, stranger than humanity, and that as these memories that you sort of blocked away come flooding back to you, Frankie. That's going to be 2 points of sanity you're losing there.
Okay, that's 39. I gotta go to 36 before I go insane. So we're getting really close now.
As you stare at this paper,
kind of feel like I stop moving for a moment too. Like I just hold to my tracks. Probably everybody goes forward a little bit before they realize that I am not going.
I might come and grab under your arm to help you move and say, Frankie, you've been good to me through this whole thing. I'll make it worth your time. You'll be well compensated. We'll get out of this. We will.
I kind of like numbingly go with him. I'm not registering at this point like the people around me. I'm just staring at that page, but I'm allowing myself to be led. Kind of like puppet like.
I'll say, Frankie, I don't believe I'm actually saying this, but this is not the time for research.
You look back at
your no response from Frankie.
What are you reading there?
No response.
I'll kind of reach out, see if I can take the paper from her hands.
It goes.
Shall I have a look?
I don't fight it.
Take the paper from her hand. It's just nonsense, this scribbling weird writing. It doesn't really mean anything much. And as the professor takes this piece of paper and looking, you can hear, so the light of this torch is flickering, showing shadows scattering across the walls, and you can hear the sound of that breathing, that scraping, scrabbling noise of something coming closer, and the sounds sort of echoing around the passageways. It's hard to be sure exactly where it's coming from, whether it's ahead of you or behind you, but it's drawing closer. And I'm going to need a sanity roll from everyone here, please, as you feel whatever this is drawing in.
21 success.
24.
9 success.
Ooh.
68 fail.
Oh,
Okay, one more point of sanity loss for Frankie.
I'm distracted by the note.
It's
my senses are heightened by the note.
drawing in.
Oh, did you hear that? I think I hear everything. We're in a closed circle. It's just bouncing around. You're going to hear everything. Every rat, every crack, every rock.
Let's keep moving.
Grab hold of Frankie and try and pull her forward.
I
Come on,
willingly
Frankie,
go, but again, I'm
almost there.
I'm sort of like catatonic at this point, still thinking about that book I read. I haven't really.
It's going to be okay. We're going to get out of here. It's all going to be all right. Come on, quickly. Just kind of usher her along.
Right, the passage
moving
leads
with the
on.
movement speed of six, so I'm going slower than you guys.
I think that's
Yeah,
that's the professor's movement speed anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
Yeah,
We're going
we're
at
going to
speed.
Hobble.
That's the hop
Old
along.
man
So
hobble.
who's at the front and who's at the back here?
Front.
Walter
And
at
then
the
the
front,
three of us.
Back.
Professor at the back.
Reading me like the plague, apparently.
It's very much single file here.
Yeah.
As you reach that narrowing point of the passageway again, where you first had to squeeze.
Okay. I'm going to turn and look back, clutching a magnetron, ready to throw it at anything if it comes after me.
At the back, you can't see very far behind you. Is it just Walter that has a torch, or?
I have the lantern still in my hand.
The lantern has this point. It's now sort of burnt right down. The lanterns are gone.
I still have it in my hand though. Again.
I'm going to find the matches. Going to kind of reach around, find the matches, and while kind of balancing the magnetron between my hands, try and light one.
As you light it, you see in the flicker of this one little match burning down to your fingers. Pair of eyes staring right back at you as this creature lunges forwards towards you and is going to try and make a grab for you. Are you trying to dodge or fight back out of this, Professor?
I'm going to throw the box at it.
Okay, roll me throw.
Oh no.
Crashed was throw. Is that rock throw? Or is there just
it's the same skill.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same skill.
That's a 23. I've missed it by 3. I've only got 20 on.
You can spend luck to.
You can
You
push.
can spend luck.
You can spend luck.
Okay. How do I spend luck? What do I do?
You
Just
just
lower
reduce
your
your luck
luck
by
score.
3.
Up 3.
Say that
Just
again.
lower your luck by 3. You can spend
Oh,
luck.
okay.
As this-
Sorry.
Lucky hit as this creature lunges forward. You just managed to knock it off course with this heavy weight, and you hear the crunch and crash of your magnetron breaking.
Sad.
No! Hopefully it gives me time to.
Oh no, it's got the professor.
It is now sort of next up in the decks. Frankie, Chester, and Walter. The professor's at the back. Ahead of you is this narrow squeeze in the tunnel.
I feel like the
Walter,
professor-
you're closest to the crack. What are you doing?
I'm gonna try and make my way through. Come on now.
All right,
Quickly.
roll me dex to squeeze your way through.
46, which is good.
All right, you slip through to the other side. Frankie and Chester.
I feel like the professor's no sort of snapped me out of like my brief like catatonicness. I'm gonna kind of shake my head a little bit, look around, see what's going on, see the professor like dejected, and I'm going to shove him through. Attempt to.
So the professor's at the back. So
Yeah,
he's
I'm gonna
behind
grab him.
you. So Chester is in the way. So
That doesn't
Chester,
matter.
move!
Chester.
I moved.
This is a single file corridor. There is.
Oh, dang it. Okay, never mind then.
Yeah.
I
So
moved
Chester,
forward then.
Try and squeeze through that gap. Make me a dex roll, Chester.
Oh.
You're trapped. Essentially, you've been trapped and funneled against this narrow, like.
So 1 negative.
Yes, you've got a penalty die on this. It's a panic, and
96.
you're stuck, and you can feel the panic as you are trapped and stuck.
The wall's getting tighter. They're closing in. I'm stuck. I can't do it.
Frankie, Chester is stuck. The
Chester.
professor is behind you. There's a creature behind. The
Chester,
professor.
give
What
me
are
the
you
other
doing?
way in.
Chester, give me your camera so you can fit through.
No, I'll give you a bullet.
I'll give it right back. I'll give it right back. Just so you
Okay.
get through.
Frankie, what are you doing?
I'm going to grab the professor and pivot him and push him through, and hopefully by pushing him through, it pushes
So
Chester through.
Chester is currently stuck fast. You can pivot round so that you're the one closest to it.
Yep.
Okay, Professor, You've been pivoted round out the way so that Frankie is closest to it. What are you doing?
Okay.
You can see Chester, like wedged halfway through this gap.
I think he's just going to stand there. He wouldn't do anything. He's just seeing Chester in front of him. Frankie! So
Okay.
yeah, he's just going to stand there and look
The
confused.
creature lunges forward towards Frankie. Dodge or fight back, Frankie.
I'm gonna try to stab it with my pencil.
Okay. All right.
That I have.
Roll me fighting brawl. Roll me your pencil.
Okay, that was, thank God. Finally, the dice like me. That was a 20 out of 25.
You managed. You managed to jab out with your pencil, and you feel it sink into the flesh. What's the damage on your pencil?
3. It's a D4. I rolled 3 points of damage.
Yes.
You managed to get the pencil sort of into its flesh, and that brings us back around to Walter. You're on the other side of this crack. Chester seems to have been stuck fast in it.
Then give me your hand. I'll help pull you through. Come on. Don't be stubborn. I try and.
Give me my hand.
All right. Roll me strength there, Walter, to try and see if you can pull him through.
Okay. 50 is my target. No, that's 100.
No, he is still stuck
Pretty
fast
clammy.
and trapped. You take 1 point of damage, Chester.
Oh.
Give me your camera so you can fit through
Ow.
better. Stop being stubborn.
Oh. It's
Chester,
not my
you're
cat.
You're stuck fast. You're trapped. What are you doing?
Can I try and weasel my way out somehow? Like,
yeah.
I
You
don't
can
know.
roll me.
Oh,
roll
can I
me
go
dex.
backwards? Can I go back out, or am I
You can
just
go eat.
either
You
way?
can go eat. You're stuck in the middle. To go either way, and you need to roll me dex to try and get your way out of here. You've still got your penalty because this is.
That's lower. It's 81.
We're gonna die.
You're still stuck. You're still stuck fast. The rocks pressing in around you. Frankie, you've just stabbed this thing with your pencil. A pencil's wedged in it. You can see these eyes, these great ragged claws. What are you doing, Frankie?
I am going to. I can't go forward. And I can't go back.
One direction is Professor and Chester Wedge. The other direction is the creature.
Yep, I am between a professor and a scary monster place. So I'm gonna pick up a rock and I'm gonna try bludgeoning it.
All right, make me a fighting brawl to try and bludgeon it with this rock.
Yeah, this is gonna go so well. It went so well. No, it did not. Okay, I thought that was a 1. It was a 7. So that changes. That is because I was like, oh yeah, I got a 19. No, I got a 79.
So this creature, he sort of panics, he dodges back. You're not managing to hit it and cause any significant damage. Professor, what are you doing?
Get through! Push him through!
I'm just scrubbing around. He's stuck. He's stuck. I can't get past him.
Push him through.
Okay. It's going to kind of put his shoulder against and try and shove Chester.
That
what
means
is that?
strength.
Getting tighter.
Yeah,
It's getting
strength. Try and
tighter.
shove.
That's a 5.
Chester, you get pushed clear of this gap. The gap is now clear for next time round. And
Woohoo!
Walter, Chester has been pushed through, joining you on the far side of here.
Fall into your embrace.
You did it.
What are the two of you doing?
I'm gonna go to the rope and just keep that area lit as best as I can. Like try and.
The rope?
Or aren't we back to where we started? Or are we not there yet?
You've got about an hour to go before you
Okay,
get back
okay.
to it. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
There
Cool.
was a whole lot of cave between now
And I'm just trying to keep adding what fuel I can to my torch.
Okay, keep the torch burning. All right, Frankie and the professor. The creature sort of still there.
I'm gonna push him. I'm gonna try to help. Can I assist him through? Can I help him in any way through?
You can forego your action to give him a bonus die on getting the professor through.
That's all I'm gonna do.
Okay. Dexterity with a bonus die, Professor.
Okay, the professor
If
is.
you accept her help.
Yeah, he's not sure about this. He reaches down and finds the remains of the sandwiches and starts throwing them at the creature. leave us alone! We're going.
Bits of cucumber.
And then I don't think he would go without Frankie at this point. He's going to try and kind of get both of us through, pull her after me. So just a straight roll, really.
Yeah, if you're not accepting assistant, that's a straight dex roll for you and a straight dex roll for Frankie to try and get you both. For me, that's 100. So you go. So you go to start, and you get partway through. You're trying to Frankie's trying to push you through. You're trying to get through, and you're stuck. You are stuck. You are trapped. Frankie, you're behind him.
Yep.
And the creature is moving forward. I need a sanity roll from both of you, please. As you realise that the professor is stuck. There is Frankie. This thing is coming up for you.
That's a fail. That's 49.
That's a fail.
One more sanity loss point for each of you.
So close to the threshold.
And the creature lunges forwards for Frankie.
Yep.
You're not trapped. You're still free. You can try and fight back and dodge if you would like.
I would like to try and. Can I grab the pencil wherever it's wedged and like try to jam it in further?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You can try.
Okay. I'm panicking because my I'm panicking because I'm like, oh my god, my dice are not liking me. But no, that was good. That was a 19.
A 19. So that's a success.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, there was a success on its behalf as well. And when you fight back,
it goes to the attacker.
Yeah. So
do I do any damage at all, or no?
It doesn't seem that it doesn't manage to get, but it grabs you and. Mm-hmm. You feel yourself being dragged back along the corridor.
I reach out for the professor.
Yeah, I'm trying to grab her.
Okay, make me a dex, see if you can grab her fast enough before she gets dragged away into the darkness. You can't see anything right now.
No.
It is dark.
That's an 85. No.
No,
I tried.
Frankie, you feel like being dragged.
Fingertips.
No.
As Frankie, you are being dragged backwards. You've got another chance to try and scramble, fight, whatever way you can think to get out of this.
I would like to attempt to shove them off of me or break free of their grasp.
Yeah, so I'll go for strength or dexterity. It's up to you.
Okay, I'm gonna go with dex because that's slightly higher.
Yeah. And as Frankie is pulled away into the darkness, I need another sanity roll from the professor. You're trapped, you're stuck. Frankie, you just seen Frankie being pulled off.
That's another fail.
27 for my dex.
Okay, you managed to fight. You managed to break free, kick and struggle this thing off. Yeah, you're momentarily free.
Back.
Frankie, Professor, what did you get?
Fail, 53.
One more loss, sanity point loss.
So I'm down to 35.
Okay. Roll me a d10.
About that. Yeah.
Sorry, no. Roll me a d10, please, there, Frankie. Not Frankie, Professor. As Frankie, you're through, the creature shies back a bit in the dark, and Professor, you completely black out, fall into unconsciousness, the panic, the stress. Frankie's gone. It's too much.
No, Frankie!
Faint, dead away.
Can we see this from the other side of the crack?
You can see.
I'm wedged in the crack as well.
You can see that the professor is wedged in the crack and seems to have stopped moving.
Here, I'll hold the light. You try and pull him out.
Yeah.
All right, strength roll from Walter. Frankie, you are in complete and utter darkness.
I scramble back towards where I think the crack is located.
Okay, so you scramble back. What did you get, Walter?
No, I said I was holding up the light and
Oh,
for
yeah.
Chester to.
Chester, what did you get?
Hold on. With a negative, let me see.
Yes.
79.
No, he's still stuck. 1 point of damage, Professor.
I'll
Frank,
get you.
you can't see light. You can hear.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming closer and closer up behind you.
Can I get to the
Blackness.
crack? Can I get to the crack and try to push him through?
You can. It's your feet sort of feeling your way forwards. You can feel the dead weight of the Professor. You're unconscious in this crack. Yeah, I'll say you make me a strength check to try and push him out of the way here.
29.
Hey.
So as Chester, you're pulling on the other side, you don't think you might get him out, and then if there's additional push from the other side, and the Professor is knocked free. Professor, you're starting to
Come around.
come round now. As Frankie, this creature, Frankie, you see the glimmer of Walter's torch on the far side, lighting up the creature to mere inches away from you, behind you, the narrow crack ahead of you. What are you doing, Frankie?
Roll. Oh, I wasn't sure if you wanted me to make another sanity roll.
Make me a sanity roll, yeah.
We're so close, we might as well go big or go home at this point.
Yeah.
We're gonna go home apparently, because that was a 98, and I really need to stop rolling 98.
You lose a point of sanity, which I think takes you over the edge. So roll me a d10.
Yep. It's a 2.
You can't move your legs. You can't move your legs. As you can see the crack, you just about reached it. You can't move. Your legs don't move. This thing is getting closer. Gets closer now. You've in the claws. It's up. You can see them. They're there, but you can't move them. They won't move.
Can I see
Panic
Frankie
and fear.
around?
Sort of. You can see from through the crack. You can see Frankie sort of on the ground and like paralyzed with fear as the creature
And I'm wedged still.
makes a reach for her. You are not wedged anymore. You're on the far side.
Oh, okay, sorry.
As the creature looms over Frankie. If anyone wants to do something, now is your chance.
Can we see
I
the
can try and
creature?
You can see it through the crack. Yes.
Can I try and shoot it
Yes, you can.
with Frankie in the way? All right. I get it. Oh, that's all zeros. That's 100.
There's a loud explosion. The gunshot echoes round, like far too close, far too loud, like this ringing in your ears as the creature lashes out down at Frankie. Last chance to fight back and try and do anything, Frankie.
Can I still
I
move
back
the
or
rest
dodge?
of my body?
You can still move your arms. It's just your legs. The fear, the panic's starting to break up now. But the fear, the panic.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna look for that pencil again and try to jam it further in.
All right, you're still going for fight back.
Yeah, that's a 10.
Hey.
The creature lets out this screech and it jerks backwards and scuttles backwards into the dark.
Another 3 points of damage to it.
You can hear as it scuttles back a little into the dark.
The professor's
Still
going to
can't-
trying to get there, trying to get
right.
through the crack to get to her.
Make me dex, see if you can get her in time.
That is a 52, so yes, just
It
55.
slips through. You can grab her. He's trying to pull her back through. Will be a dex with penalty.
Try and
This
help
creature
her up,
Sort of.
or with penalty. Oh, that's a 9 without. That's a 79 with. That's a fail.
Okay, I'm going to give you a choice here.
Mm-hmm.
Either you or Professor, either you or Frankie get stuck here, depending on how you do this.
Oh, it's
Which one of you is it?
definitely me, because I'd have got, the professor would have scrambled through and go, Frankie, come here, and helping up with her legs, and would have just literally kind of shoved her through the gap back towards where the other guys are.
Okay, so Frankie for being pushed through there, and the Professor, once more, you are stuck in your wedge. You just can't even get the hang right as the creature lunges back forwards. You can't really see it clearly. You can't. You've
Walter,
got a penalty to any attempts to dodge or fight back because you're wedged in this crack. What are you doing?
Okay. Well, he's just going to be trying to follow on past after Frankie, so
Yeah, so
he's
Dex
not
to try
dodging
and-
or anything. He's,
Okay, so,
yeah, just
so
trying
the,
to get through the
the
crack.
claws strike into you. That is 3 points of damage.
He's down to 4, and that's a 48 to get through the crack, so he does make it.
So you managed to break through, like blood dripping from you. And
Quick, let's go, quick!
and you're through. And it's like the flickering lights, you got to scramble and scurry onwards, back up, sort of past through these narrow passageways, back where you'd first scrambled down. So, Walter, you're leading the way. You've got the torch. As this flicker of this smoky torch, as you struggle and scramble your way back through, and you find yourself at the foot of the climb.
Can we hear anything coming behind us, or does it seem like we're okay at the moment?
Make me a listen check.
That's a 9. That's going to be a fast. Yeah.
You can hear scrabbling behind you, movement down in the dark. Something is coming.
I will hand the torch to Chester, and I will make I seem to be the least hurt here. I will pull you all up if I need to. I make my way up.
Okay, make me a climb roll. See if you can get out of here.
I thought you were going to stand and protect us. Yeah.
24.
You can see daylight above you. There's the freedom and daylight. Who's going up next?
I'm lighting matches at the back, kind of going, oh, I can hear it coming. I can hear it coming.
I will.
Professor, go.
Hands reach. You can see this at least 3 pairs of eyes in the darkness.
Take her, Chester. Take her.
I say, no, Professor, you go before me. Go. I'll be fine.
I push between both of them and go.
Okay. Climb disadvantage as you panic.
Oh,
and scramble.
That's the Chester we know and love.
Oh, no.
75.
So you get higher and you feel slipping and sliding back down, and that's a point of damage and bruising batters you're back at the bottom again. Okay, who's
Quick,
who's
we've
next?
got to get out before the walls close.
Can I interject here? As I see Chester say, give me your camera and I'll pull you up. I know what your reputation is.
Chester slipped down to the bottom. You can't really hear the sounds of echoing around from it's quite a long. You can hear Walter's voice distorted, sort of echoing down to you.
That's cold.
But you are back at the bottom, Chester. All right.
Come on, Chester.
Who's next? Who's next up?
I'm going to shove Frankie towards the road. Come on, Frankie, get up there, get up there.
Okay, I guess I go if Chester's not going to impede me in any way.
No, go for
Yeah.
it. You've got a penalty die from your wounded leg, but go for it.
Yeah, okay, this is going to go really great. Yeah, no, that's a fumble with a 98. I keep rolling 98s, I swear. Not fun. Yep.
As you scramble and slip, another point of damage.
Okay.
Another break.
Who's next?
The professor at this point would pull a Gandalf. He's going to go, go on, my life saves, and I've accomplished all I'm going to accomplish. Quick! And he's going to turn and start running down the corridor towards it. Help me! I'm trying to look.
Okay, as you run into the dark
Can we stop him from
towards
doing
the
it?
waiting
Grab him?
claws. You can try.
Okay.
He runs past them.
Yeah, good. More than likely.
Professor, roll me strength or dex. Whoever's trying to grab me, roll strength or dex. Tell me if you've got a success or a failure. Walter,
Success.
you're up at the top. You're in daylight. What are you doing?
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting until I see Chester specifically.
Okay.
28 for the strength.
So that's success.
Yes.
So, but
I
the
got-
professor also had a success.
Yeah.
The professor is gone into the darkness. Chester, what are you doing?
Yeah. He just ran off into the darkness, but the darkness is what I'm afraid of, so I got to get out of here.
Okay.
So I'm going up.
Fine. Still with that damn penalty.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine. That dice doesn't need to be seen. It's 97.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, 97.
Yeah, it's a good
Crack.
one.
It's a redundant extra
Aw.
dice.
And
So
there
my
goes
ass
your
is
leg.
broken, and
Your
then my
leg.
leg.
Broken, battered bones, and looking up at this climb, the matches. It's dark down here. There's not much light filtering back down. Frankie,
Nice.
what are you doing? The professor has run off into the dark. Chester is down on the ground.
Can I grab? Okay. Okay, fine. Here's what I'm gonna do. Can I grab his handgun?
Yeah,
Okay.
he lets you. It's up to him.
You let me grab it?
You're muted.
Jester?
Chester?
Yep. Sorry, I was muted. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Go.
Okay, so I grab the handgun.
There's
Do I
two
see-
bullets. If you
Okay.
hear me scream, use one.
What are you
I'm
doing?
gonna
grab-
die to these creatures.
I grab the handgun. Grab the camera.
Oh, handgun.
Can I grab the camera or no?
Just
Is it
you've
Alright,
got
I'll
the
hand
gun.
I'll hand it to you.
Alright.
Don't
camera?
Don't let the journalist get it.
okay? I climb.
All right, make
Hide
that
it.
climb roll. You've
Hide
still
it.
got the penalty die. You've still got an injured leg. Make the climb.
Go on, Frankie.
Yeah, come on. We've got. Oh, just keep rolling. What did you get?
I rolled a 24 with a penalty.
All right. So you make it up into daylight, emerging, blood covered, holding the camera, holding the gun.
Yep.
Chester down at the bottom, lying on the
Try and
floor.
get up.
You hear
Oh
You-
no.
the professor is gone. You don't. What did you get? You just hear screams from where the professor went. Chester.
I get a 43. That's 55. I get up. Well, I start climbing.
You
As
climbing up.
as he's coming up, I say, "Let me have the camera, and I can fix your reputation."
I don't have it. I left it down there. Can I try a bluff, fast talk, or whatever you do?
Yeah, roll it fast then, because as he pulls you up into daylight, Professor, meanwhile, you're dragged down, claws and teeth sinking into you as you are dragged down and down into the depths of that cave.
23, 30.
And as the rest of you stand in the daylight, this small hole in the ground, sort of between your feet, down which you had descended. The sun is starting to set. You've been down there the better part of the day. You wait. But there is no sign of the professor. No sign of anyone emerging from down in those dark depths. And as you realise that you realise that you will never see him again, that he is gone and lost forever in the darkness. We are right up to the limit of our cutoff here, guys.
Yay!
It just wants me to say,
I'm so happy I brought the security blanket.
thank you to all my players, and I'm sorry for nearly killing you, and I'm sorry for not managing to kill you. I tried so
Hey, we
hard.
managed it. We managed it. Well done.
One
Tiz.
down.
Thank you so much.
But yes, thank you very much, and thank
Thank
you very
you
much
for
to anyone
having
who joined watching.
Yeah.
We've got this is only the very first game on this channel that's being live streamed today, hence why I had a time limit. Don't want to run behind at the beginning. So in just a moment, we'll be going over to I believe it is I believe it'll be a Traveller game coming up next. So stick around and see some sci-fi, I believe. But thank you very
Thanks,
much.
guys. Thanks for playing. Bye-bye.
Bye.